Hello, this is Kyle Johnson from Gather Your Party, and you're listening to Gentlemen Discussing Vidya. Also, Freaky Demon is a dork.
That's right.
Rock me, baby.
Baby.
Rock me, baby.
Baby.
That's right.
Baby. 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 Baby.
Hello and welcome to Gentlemen Discussing Video, the only podcast made from 99% pure sausages. I'm Catsman, and today I am joined by Baron von Badbeaver.
Hello.
Fishheads.
Hey.
Happy Man.
Give these people air.
Mike from GOIP.
Hey,
Mixmaster Mal.
how you doing?
And Yalen V.
Hey.
So I guess we'll start
We're coming at you live from the stratosphere.
live from the... Isn't the stratosphere quite an interesting place?
It's probably is. Yeah, it is because we're here right now and we know it.
So first we're going to talk about the comments from the last podcast. Bloom says, while I do appreciate exploring the Taj Mahal of games, I'm sad because you missed a good opportunity to discuss the 7 wonders of the ancient gaming world, wherein you give us your list of 7 best ancient video games, arbitrarily, let's say pre-1988. Has anyone got any wonders from that era?
Yeah, you
Wasteland.
You made a whole fucking documentary on it.
Yeah, but just forgetting all of that for a moment, I love Mega Man, and that was 1987, so... Just
Okay, yeah.
For sure,
Legend
Wasteland
of
came
Zelda.
out in 87 or
Yeah,
88.
Yeah,
Super
Wasteland-
Mario Brothers.
Well-
This is going to be boring list, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yep.
well, Super Mario Brothers, there's way better platformers on NES, but Legend of Zelda, it's hard to find a game that's like that on NES that's better. So. Well, Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2 was 1988, so I'm not sure if that counts or not.
No, it does. Well, okay, what I'm trying to say is
Okay.
Zelda is better than Mario.
Oh, shit,
on
Magical
NES.
Door P only
Um,
came out in 1990.
Well,
Shut up.
let's see. Rogue came out in 1980.
Yeah, and Rogue's
That's-
influence has only really been felt recently.
What about Wasteland?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
original
what was the-
Wasteland.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What was the
Totally
very first
I kept
adventure
saying
game
that.
called? Was it like Deadly Dungeon or something? I don't know.
It's you mean like graphical
Zork?
adventure or text adventure?
No, the first text adventure.
Zork.
Oh, text adventures are like
That wasn't the
old as
first one.
computer games. Yeah, I don't know what the first
Well, I
one
think
was.
Zork is probably the most memorable one because that came
yes.
out like in 77.
Did
Definitely.
Wizardry and Ultima come out before 88?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they did.
They inspired the Dragon Quest series, whatever it's called.
Yeah, dude.
Crown?
Yeah.
Quest.
Dragon
Yeah, they
Quest,
did.
yeah. And Final Fantasy.
Yeah, all JRPGs have a Western RPG called Wizardry to thank for basically their entire design.
Interesting.
Yeah. We had like NetHack in 1987.
Oh, yeah.
And it like came from Hack in 1982.
Original Metal Gear came out on
Oh yeah.
MSX in '87.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn, video games have been a thing for a while.
No shit.
Like, I was born in 96, and people like,
It
That's-
weirds me out
Oh.
that people who are born in '96 can like walk and talk now.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
I was born in 96.
When I was in
Hey.
96, I got a Sega channel.
Cats, I think you're giving me too much credit.
Yeah, Mal can barely talk, so.
So yeah, those are
I
our,
can talk.
our 7 wonders. Just arrange those into a list of wonders
Yeah.
if you want, or don't. Whatever. It's no skin off my back.
I can talk mostly over other people.
Kyle Johnson says, "Hey." So Mike, you do Kyle Johnson's voice.
Okay, no, so, sorry, I went to the comments. I'm looking at this, and I may have written this while I was drunk.
You mean Kyle Johnston?
Yeah,
Kyle
Kyle
Johnston.
Johnston.
Not
Hey,
to be
guys,
confused
what's up?
with Kyle
Demon
Johnson.
Souls, 140 hertz monitor lizard, counterfuck go my ass, Jedi Outcast maps.
Oh, it's like he's in the room with me. It's not really like he's in the room with me.
Did Kyle Johnson die?
Yeah.
No, he's just doing voice acting stuff.
He's dead.
Being Kyle.
So he's dead inside.
Every time he appears on a podcast, it's actually Mike now.
What if Kyle Johnson voice acts in Persona 5?
That's such a Mao thing to say.
That is the most Mao thing.
Mark Sev says unhappy face. That's because I think I said something inflammatory about him because he doesn't like Cave Story. Whatever.
Well, that's his fault for not liking Cave Story.
Mike is a cool dude. Not Mike. Mark is a cool dude. Mike's a cool guy. No, to be fair, yeah, Mike's an even cooler dude. All Ubisoft bridges are carbon copies of one, except for cooler and cooler decorations, and they only materialize for you when you cross as long as you're on the phone with Ubisoft the entire time.
They also collapse when they're first built.
Honestly, I would if I saw a rickety fucking bridge, then I would actually quite like to be on the phone with the maker of the bridge as I'm walking across it. Like a support, I guess.
Well, if you're on the phone with Ubisoft, then they'll just be coercing you to cross a very dangerous bridge. Yeah. Really, you should be making better purchasing. Bridge crossing decisions and just not using Ubisoft bridges at all.
Have Ubisoft done anything particularly stupid recently?
Ubisoft bridges can only be crossed with parkour, and you have to unlock several parts of the bridge by climbing to the top of them before more of the bridge will open up.
They only had the whole, Assassin's Creed Unity fiasco last winter, where it was the most broken piece of shit ever.
Delayed by 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Anonymous says,
Assassin's Creed games used to come out. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Assassin's Creed games. They used to come out at once a year, but now it feels like they come out more than 1 a year almost.
I think they still come out once a year. It's just that time seems to be going faster now that I'm older.
No, it's They release expansion packs too.
The thing is, after 3, I lost the numbering of them completely. I have no idea which ones are numbered what anymore.
Well, 3 wasn't even the third one. It was
No, that's right. After
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed 2, I just completely lost it. I was like, what Assassin's Creed game are we on? Fucking hell. Shit. I don't know.
Yeah, because there was 2 San Andreas Vice City style things, and then all of a sudden, now we're back to 3. So they don't give a fuck about their numbering system.
We're also going to respond to some comments from the Lisa podcast, because this is the next podcast after that.
I still need to finish that.
No spoilers for you. Mao says, I'm sorry for saying fuck.
Can you build in a special feature of the GYP comments section where
people in America use the word couth?
If Mao posts a comment with the word sorry in it, it blocks that comment.
I might have to. Bloom says this game's fucking awesome. I've only put 4 hours in so far, but the design is great. The atmosphere is creepy and conveyed without a glut of text boxes. The characters are interesting and hilarious. I agree to that. I especially agree about the games not having a glut of text boxes, describing things.
Yeah, there was one awesome detail in that. Just that one level where there's just that guy playing that solo trumpet piece. and then if you get to this one weird part of the level where you can actually see the top of the cliff that's kind of all throughout it, he's just there playing a trumpet and he looks down at you and the music stops and he's just kind of staring at you till you come back.
I don't remember that bit. Shit. Is that like a Earthbound reference or what?
No, it's Dr. Yod.
Oh, right, that. Yeah, I didn't see him. Shit. Okay. Bloom says, what a fantastic game. The feels had to hug Brad. Thanks for saying the feels. Top 5 Fly party members. 5, Fly Mid-Eddie. 4, Ajit, RIP, gouging eyes never felt so good. 3, Tiger. I think Kat said the joy-addicted heroes were useless, but since I did a joyless playthrough, I just gave Tiger all my joy and he kicked ass.
That was me, and I didn't give people joy because I didn't know if giving people joy locked you out of the joyless ending or if it was only giving Brad joy. So I just didn't give anyone to it.
I can imagine one of those characters would be good if you saved all of your joy for them, but I
just didn't use joy at all because I didn't know if if you can get the joyless ending if you keep Brad clean, and not everyone else. You know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I agree with him about Ajit's. You know how Happy said Ajit is like a man of morals in the way that he is. That's why where he gets his power from. He points fingers at people for their bad morals. And he's done it so much that his finger pointing has powers.
I have to say, I'm a bitch for any story where you have to fight your former friends.
What other games do that?
Dark Souls does it a bit.
Maldita Castilla.
Maldita. Oh yeah, shit, it does.
Count?
Oh, that was so cool.
Wait,
stop saying Battle Raper.
I'm sorry, this is a really awful name.
There's end of Neverwinter Nights 2. Like basically every single party member has like a check where they might betray you for the last boss.
Don't starve together.
Ultima.
No.
I think Ultima 7, Ultima 8, you had to fight all of your friends. They got possessed, turned into evil creatures.
In one of the Fallouts, isn't there a thing where one of your party members potentially turns on you?
That happens like many a time, actually.
That is in the Fallout New Vegas expansion, Dead Money.
Oh yeah.
Where if you don't treat Dean Domino extremely well, like if you act like an asshole to him even once, he will fuck you.
No, there's a potential
He's
all
really
of them will be pissed off at you if you say the wrong things.
I think a variety of companions, though, in the Fallout series will turn against you or leave your company if you lose karma, or if you have a certain kind of karma.
They had
Boone and Arcade leave you if you join the NCR. Cass just leaves you if you get bad karma, I think. Veronica leaves you if you turn on the Brotherhood.
Yeah,
if you join the Legion, they turn. Veronica turns you if you join the Legion. I don't think Lilith cares.
Fucking Arcade definitely leaves you. Like, most people will leave you if you join the Legion for, like, good reasons.
No, only Arcade and Boone will leave you. The other guys will comment, but they don't outright
Arcade
just leave you if you do.
You know,
he leaves you, Boone leaves you, the others don't.
Yeah.
Even when
it's amazing, right, just how much content was stripped out of that game. And how much is still there, and how much of it is good.
It's like, Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, it's a good game, but it could be so much better if they got more time.
Felt like it was like Metal Gear Solid 3, whereas, like, Fallout 3 was like Metal Gear Solid 2. I don't know.
Because MGS3 doesn't have a lot of cut content.
That's true.
MGS2 that has a shit ton of cut content.
Yeah. There was in Wasteland 2, kind of along the same Fallout vibe, there's one party member who's a cyborg, and they keep talking again and again about how there's this robot that's going to take over the supercomputers, and you can still keep this guy in your party, but he will betray you when supercomputers get taken over.
Oh, hey, again, Slabs who turn on you, Barkley.
Charles Barkley?
No, Vince Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Peace, Vince Borg. He was too good for the sinful R.
In Dragon Age 1. In Dragon Age 2, Sebran can turn on you. Also.
He did for me. Is that fucking...
Oh, man, hardcore spoilers, but Baldur's Gate 2...
What the fuck? Wow, did someone just go berserk?
That Mao's muted and deafened himself, it's okay.
Mao is extremely sensitive towards spoilers, and if you threaten to spoil something, he will scream extremely loud.
This is the part. This is the part where I want to comment where I do honestly believe that Mao is kind of psychotic.
No, he's not.
Anyways, but
hang on, let's talk about Mao in a disparaging way now that he's muted and deafened.
No, let's hear whoever was talking
scream
was
really
say.
loud comes back,
okay.
So
yeah, I agree.
Wow, Mao, you haven't played Baldur's Gate 2 yet? Jeez.
Well, I haven't finished Baldur's Gate 1 yet. I haven't played in a while. I have a lot of fucking video games to be playing.
So what are you playing? Like the Wonderful 101, Mao.
Yeah,
Mao.
Wonderful 101.
Mao.
Hotline Miami 2.
No, I beat that.
Oh,
I will talk about it later.
Oh, okay.
Are we? Okay, is that enough talking about guns and shit? What are we talking about?
So anyways,
I'm trying to
Baldur's
think
Gate
if there's
2,
any
right?
others.
No?
Okay, never mind. Anyway, I posted a link in the comments to a charity stream where they had Austin Jorgensen on. It's on YouTube. You should go watch it if you haven't already. It's 2 hours. They played different parts of the game using some different save files. So if you want to hear the developer give some commentary, then go watch it.
Anyway, should we talk about the news?
Troy, we have feud.
We don't have a feud.
It happens in like every GTA game. I just realized that.
How much news has there even been? Like,
lots of
Vladimir
news.
Putin.
Yeah.
What about Vladimir Putin?
He's been coming into this fucking mumble and spamming shitty music.
Basically, we've been fighting Vladimir Putin and Ghost Recon the entire time. We've been fighting the Russian military. I want to point that out. But it kind of reminded me.
Is this standard GLA practice, fighting Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, he hasn't been in public recently. I think there's kind of a coup going on, and it's oddly enough mirroring the entirety of Ghost Recon. Because so far, the storyline has been pretty spot on about recent world events.
My dad was actually
Russia invades South Ossetia in 2008. I'm sorry?
My dad was telling me he was actually doing business with someone who he looked up later and was actually on the run from Putin.
But who isn't on the run from Putin?
Who is or who isn't?
Who isn't in one way or another?
Traitors. Oh, that's true.
A lot of his political rivals kind of just end up dead. And
just mysteriously disappear.
Yeah.
It's not all
he
that
looked the guy's name up after he had the meeting with him. He looked the guy's name up and he found like pictures of him sitting at a round table just with Putin, like casually next to him and all that.
Like, who was the guy? Who was the opposition guy in Russia the other week who said something about like, I fear for my life. Like Putin's going to kill me, and then the next week he was dead. Who was that guy? Shit.
Can we not talk about politics? Can we feud?
Is the chess
we
guy?
don't have
the
a
chess
feud.
guy's still alive
The
though, right?
feud-
We don't have a feud. And I think this is relevant to Ghost Recon.
Gary
feud
Kasparov,
is
he's
now-
still alive, right?
Yes, he is, but I guess he hasn't made enemies with Putin yet.
There's no family feud today because I don't have any questions I can't come up with anymore. So
anyway, the news. So, some people will probably want to talk about Hotline Miami too, so do that.
I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. I like the music especially. The music's really good.
Please, no spoilers. I'm not done with it yet. And, it's just been released, so I don't think that's too much to ask.
No, Fish, that's not the will spoiler because you didn't scream loud enough.
Yeah,
the mouse
so
strategy.
you gotta go all out on us.
No,
and then
if you scream about it, then people feel like. See, this is what Mao doesn't get.
Talk about the goddamn game and shut up about Mao.
Anyways, so a lot of people had some complaints about Hotline Miami 2. They felt like the level designs were a bit more like spaced out. It wasn't as kind of like tight and super fast. Like you got shot by enemies off screen if you were a dumbass and didn't use the look function.
No, you can overall, get shot off screen without with look. It's happened to me.
Get good.
That hasn't really happened to me, yeah.
Let's... I love how we can just completely wipe away any valid criticisms of a game with Get Good now. I'm so happy about that backlash that's happened. It's so great.
Fish, do you want a hug?
Yeah, isn't it wonderful that a game might actually ask you to learn how to play it? I mean, like the levels didn't have the same tight flow, but I kind of liked it because there was a good variety.
It was the flow was kind of like off and on. Sorry, Mal, but it was like you'd have like a bit more drawn out. You're being more careful. You're being more cautious, and they have a couple of short moments where it's completely hectic and insane. Then it kind of slows down again. I like that actually.
Yeah. The Vietnam Hawaii missions were like you really had to exercise in terms of like being restrained, which is kind of cool. It's sort of subverting a lot of what Hotline Miami was kind of about. Like it was way harder to get those really quick, punchy, energetic playthroughs, and the music kind of reflected that. It was like a lot of the stuff was way sort of slower, kind of plodding tempo.
I was very happy about some of the musical choices. Mega Drive is one of the artists in the game, and I do like his music quite a lot. So is Carpenter Brute. Brute's really, really good.
In fact, there's one Carpenter Brute song, Roller Mobster, that's used in Death Wish, which is probably like my favorite Hotline Miami mission entirely. Like
that song is
across the series.
I also liked Acid Spit by Mega Drive when they did. I think it was the heist. I can't remember.
Yeah, but that
was pretty intense.
mission Death Wish, where you're going back and forth, you're playing as each of the fans.
Yeah,
through one floor. I really liked it.
I was kind of bothered by the variety of masks because you didn't have a full selection depending on the character you were playing. I didn't like that.
There isn't much variety.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I feel like they gave you enough options. Like the masks were different enough when you could select them that it was like a different playthrough.
I do like
playing as the twins was pretty awesome.
How you play as all the different characters, and each of them kind of has a different play style.
Except the sun.
And then the levels were kind of built around that, though. I liked that.
Yes.
Can we get to the complaints? Complaints about the game?
I think this is a problem with the first one. The enemy is shooting you off screen, which would be a very slight tweak to make.
It's way worse in this game because the levels are way bigger, longer corridors,
there's
glass,
more windows and stuff too.
So much glass. You have to be sure like what you're looking at is glass and not or door walls.
You do take a lot more time planning out your plan of attack, so to speak.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, you can still use that to your advantage. I don't know how many times, like, I specifically planned around, like, okay, this guy will have a submachine gun, so I'll gouge his eyes out, grab his gun, and just spray down this hall where I know I'm going to be shot from. Yeah. And, just get, like, oh, wow, 4 combo.
Would you say it's as good as the first game, or worse, or better?
No. I think it was better.
Worse, definitely worse.
Now, the more you scream it, the more valid it makes your opinion.
Okay. I think that a lot of the problems that were in Hotline Miami transferred over to the sequel, but I think that it also added a lot more levels, a lot more music, a lot more characters, an actual storyline, for Christ's sakes.
Can I talk?
Sorry.
Are you going to comment, Mel?
I will talk about what I like and don't like about the game. What I like, the music. Music's more. There's more music, so it's better. It's like a better variety in music. It's not all like sort of techno nightclub shit, which is alright, but I think it's got more range this time around, which I like. There's some really good tracks. The art and design, it looks fine. It suits the game. Like the hyper violent gore is good. It suits the game. I like the variety of characters. I like playing as different characters. Things I don't like though. Number one, you don't get to play as Jacket, although that depends on how important you see his jacket as. But actual criticisms, there is so much shit. The level design is so much worse in Hotline Miami 1. Like most of the times you will not be able to see your entirety of the level you're on using a look function, where in like many levels in Hotline Miami 1 you could. And so you don't even get a good idea of what the level looks like. And the level's going for so fucking long as well. It's not short and tight like Hotline Miami 1. You just get bored dying and dying over and over again. Fucking... I don't know. Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, I remember there's couple times in Hotline Miami 1, I mean, there was one extremely egregious example of that.
Are you talking about the corridor?
Yeah, I'm talking about junction. I'm talking about the fucking hospital. Like that.
The hospital is not that bad.
Was a pain in the ass.
Not bad.
I mean, no, like the lulls in Hotline Miami 2. I mean, what basically happens is that you have to approach it like way slower, but they still have plenty of those tight levels.
I don't know. I think there's only like 5 tight levels. Like that's a bad estimate, but most levels are you do them from cheesing by baiting with guns and just baiting and weighing around corners, which isn't fun. It's not like in Hotline Miami 1 where if you're really good,
that's one way to play it.
In all fairness, I know everyone likes to pick on Mal, but I may not have played it myself, but my friend who really loved Hotline Miami 1 was telling me a lot of the same issues that Mal was saying.
Its level design is worse. It is so much worse. Having to bait shit all the time because there's fucking windows everywhere. You cannot, times where you cannot use melee weapons, or where you're playing as fucking Tony and fucking. I can't imagine playing as Tony for the missions of shitloads of windows. I actually
really enjoyed playing as Tony.
Yeah, I think being able to take on those big guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That is another thing. It seems like there are way more of the big guys that normally require you to have a gun.
Quite annoying. Yeah, you need a gun. Or Tony, and that's also really annoying. So you have to keep a shotgun in the room and wait for the fat guy to come in and shoot him dead. Now get your melee weapon out for the fucking rushers. It's even worse if you have the ninja enemies and the fucking fat guys.
Yeah, I mean it's more challenging. I actually appreciated that.
I don't think it's more challenging. I just think it's more annoying.
I would refute some of your points, but I guess it's just a matter of perspective. Like, the level design is admittedly larger, and it is a lot more difficult compared to the first one. Difficult because you have a lot more things to look out for, and the levels are a lot longer, and they are more tedious sometimes, or they can get tedious to some people.
I am judging here without actually having played the game, but surely you say to look out for, but what I hear a lot is that you really can't see the enemies. So surely that's not really.
I could actually.
Surely that's not really challenge as much as it is kind of luck.
Like there were times when I had to shoot down corridors because I know as I had to shoot them before they see me, because as soon as they come on the screen, I am dead. Because shit, like I think their accuracy is also better and their reaction time is better. The enemies, I mean.
Yeah, I would
can't
definitely
sneak up on enemies.
I would definitely have tweaked it so the enemies don't notice you quite as easily and don't acquire you quite as easily.
They do give you that actual split second when you get into an enemy's vision range. They give you a tiny little window before they fire, and I did have to. I find myself using like lock on, and again progressing slower, but just like for comparison, I went back and admittedly I was playing like some of the early levels in Hotline Miami 1, but I mean once you get sort of the rhythm and flow down of how the game works, those levels are laughably easy.
Well, I think that's just kind of what Hotline Miami 1 is about, like getting in the rhythm, just blasting through it, like keeping on moving. And I find that much more fun in Hotline Miami 2, where a lot of it boils down to shooting through windows, baiting enemies out, using guns all the time. There are so many fucking guns in this game. Holy shit. So annoying.
That is the one problem I had of Hotline Miami 2, is that it carries on the same problem from the first game, which is weapon selection. Like, if you're on top of a pile of guns, you gotta pick through each and every one until you get the one that you want.
Annoying. There's less. They've added weapons, but I feel as though there's less weapon variety. Like, there's not any more random weapon spawns in the game.
I mean, Hotline Miami 1, like pretty much most melee weapons were trumped by the knife, unless you wanted cool execution animations.
The samurai sword is pretty good too.
Yeah,
samurai sword is good.
But even then, it actually doesn't even attack as fast as the knife. The knife you can literally just be like left clicking and charging down a corridor. And even in 1, you if enemies had guns and they were positioned right, you would still have to bait them out.
Yeah. Well, now you can also kill dogs with your fists too.
Yeah, guns were if you're Tony.
Tony,
right?
yeah. You smash his head in.
Yeah, but guns were kind of problematic in the series in 1 as well.
But guns there are so many more gun using enemies in 2. In 1 they get the gun enemies in a bit more gradually. Like, I'm pretty sure the first level only has one gun enemy, while
Do you think this game was made with the assumption that you've played the first one? And
definitely.
I suppose so.
Certainly, yeah.
The difficulty scales from playing the first one.
I don't think it's difficult. I mean, I guess it could be seen as more difficult, but I think they've sacrificed a lot of the fun of it, of like what made Hotline Miami 1's level design and the rhythm of the game good. It's like completely altered. Like my favorite levels in 2 are the ones where he plays the author, who is the pacifist.
He has to punch people, I remember.
What you do is you can't use guns, because then if you shoot guns, you'll kill people. So
I think you can only use blunt weapons too.
Yeah,
you can actually still kill people as him.
Yeah, you can beat them.
You can
once they're down.
You get sent into rage, but I prefer playing it as a pacifist because you get more points.
Because you're like Batman.
Well, not really, but
mostly it just seems like he's fighting in self-defense.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
I don't know.
That's the end of the Hotline Miami 2 segment.
Enough about it. Yeah.
I found that it was... Oh, I do want to finish this up. Unlike Mao, I did find that its flaws can be easily overlooked, because a lot of the flaws carried over from the first game. Level design can be a bit of a problem for people who are used to the first game, but I think that it just takes more time in planning. The pace, it turfs out.
I don't hate the game. I'm just a bit disappointed in it because I hyped myself up for it, which I suppose is my fault, but I really liked
Definitely asking for it.
Hotline Miami 1.
The two.
However, will probably still play it when the level editor comes out because I can see people remaking the entirety of like Hotline Miami 1 in 2, or like making levels that I would find more fun in 2.
I just got a message from Freaky. Mal, you should lay off the Dark Souls 2 syndrome.
Can I talk about the game? I'm not talking about Dark Souls 2. I'm talking about Hotline Miami.
Just ignore everything Freaky says. That's what I do, and it works out pretty well.
And hey, I kind of like Dark Souls 2, so whatever. Anyway, that's enough about Hotline Miami.
So, what is the Dark Souls 2 syndrome?
I think it's when a game is bad and people just say, "Oh, get good," when you complain about it.
I remember Taka was talking about he didn't like Dark Souls 2, but he wasn't really sure why he disliked it.
Freaky
so he gave reasons that were kind of strange.
What Freaky is saying is that he thinks Mao is only disliking it because it's a sequel.
I don't. No, I think I could see where Mao is coming from with his complaints of the game. I can totally understand that.
No, what I'm saying is Freaky's being a dingus. Mao has legit criticisms, but Freaky's being a dingus.
Well, that's a given.
I want to talk about Peter Molyneux because this is probably going to be the last time that we shall speak Peter Molyneux's name.
Yeah. He invented
on
this
podcast because, of course, Peter Molyneux is now dead.
Cracking the knuckles. All right.
So yeah, anyway, basically the man's career has been in free fall for like 20 years or so.
Ever since Syndicate?
It finally came to a head when he kind of stooped to the level of making phone games and then failed miserably at that. He ran a Kickstarter for a phone game that was like a god game that was free to play with microtransactions that barely got funded. But he completely ignored the person who won Curiosity, thus negating the entire point of it, and didn't deliver Godus to most of the backers who wanted it for PC because it's not come out for PC, and it hasn't sold at all on phones or tablets. Big surprise because games don't. And yeah, so who was it? Who was it? Rock Paper Shotgun who baited him, or was it someone else?
Yes, it was Rock Paper Shotgun.
They baited him by calling him a pathological liar. And now he's just kind of retreated into himself to kind of wallow in his failure. Isn't that nice?
Didn't he have another interview the same day where he said like the exact same line about like, this is the last time you will see me?
Well,
but he said that like 5 times before, I swear.
Did he commit suicide or something?
He's the Miyazaki of video games, except he doesn't actually make anything. He just says, "This is the last you'll see of me." But then he always comes back for another scam.
But Miyazaki makes really good movies.
Yeah, Miyazaki made some things of incredible quality.
That was flawed because Miyazaki actually makes things. But
he's the Kojima of British game developers.
No, but again,
this will
Kojima
be my last
actually
shitty game.
Something.
I would say he's the Phil Fish of British game developers.
No, he's the the Tim Schafer, except before Tim Schafer was modern Tim Schafer.
Yeah, well, I like Tim Schafer's work.
Yeah, Tim Schafer occasionally makes something good.
Are we
3.3 million
about Peter Molyneux?
Peter Molyneux.
I don't. Is this just an interview?
Fable 4 is going to be awesome.
Feel
the interview.
Fable 4 is going to be so good. You're right.
I feel like my perception of Peter Molyneux is kind of clouded a bit by the nostalgia I felt from his earlier games. Like
just go back and
Magic
play
Carpet,
Fable 2
Dungeon Keeper.
All of that nostalgia will just evaporate.
I never played Fable 2. Like I stopped at Fable 1.
That game is fucking terrible.
No, Fable 2 is better than Fable 3.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I'm sure I've never played Fable 3 though, so.
Well, my take on the interview is, if you want to be like a serious like games review site, don't fucking open up your interview with an insult to someone's character. I don't think that's a good
regardless
idea.
of what you're doing, if you're doing an interview, don't open up an interview with an insult to someone's character. That's not how you conduct an interview.
And I think it was completely misplaced because I wouldn't call Peter Molyneux a pathological liar. I would call him inept and overambitious. It's like they're two different things. Yes, I do think.
No, sorry, I didn't finish. Do you think they meant well but couldn't think... but were being stupid and couldn't think of a better way to put it? Or do you think they were just assholes trying to bait him?
Clickbait.
No,
definitely.
I think
clickbait.
Yeah.
Gamers don't know how to act around other people, so...
It was just a way of making them seem like a more legitimate site, like what I think has happened with the the Order reviews, where it's a legitimately bad game, but it's just sort of like the sacrificial lamb that, you know, review sites will make a bad review of it to basically say, oh, look, us, we're still, you know, we're legitimate sites, you can trust us now. We're not like we used to be.
And then they'll just give 8 out of 10 to the next Assassin's Creed game, and the cycle will repeat until another game that comes along that's acceptably bad for everyone to hate.
Yeah, if there was a decent amount of hype behind the Order, and they actually, you know, paid the review sites, then I think they would have given it 8 or 9 out of 10. It was just the way of sort of, you know, winning people back in a way to say like, oh, look, we've changed now. Don't worry, you can trust us.
Credibility is giving a bad review to an obviously bad game.
I have to
they
say,
explained that shit to me before we started the podcast, and that's exactly what I said too. Is like, oh, we're gonna, you know, have a bunch of backlash against this for being, you know, 5 hours and all this bad game design and all that. But we, you know, all the Assassin's Creeds and all the Halos and all that, that's all cool. That's all fine. Because they hadn't made a bunch of those games and we're used to them. That's why.
Those usually have at least 10 hours of content plus multiplayer, though.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, Halo, the entire series is exercises on shallow permutations of the same shit.
I didn't say they were good. I'm saying there's actual content there, though. And I mean, 5 hours, even if it was good content for $60, is still just...
It's not good bang for your buck.
It's not.
No.
It's not even really 5 hours because most of it's cutscenes. And
well, you can't skip the cutscenes.
Well,
so.
I would say that the cutscenes are an important part of the game because that's most of what the game is.
Yeah, but even then, like half of the gameplay is
I didn't care about the
is either walking around or QuickTime events. Even the final boss is a reused QuickTime event from halfway through the game.
I guess, didn't know that.
Going back to Peter Molyneux, I think that listening to what he has to say about a game and what he plans on putting into the game, I think that no one should ever do that. Just get the game and play it when it comes out. Try to ignore whatever he says. Because that's when I enjoyed Peter Molyneux games, if I remember correctly, was not listening to what he had to say about them, like his older games.
Yeah,
I
you're
love
right
Magic
about
Carpet. That was pretty awesome.
Magic Carpet was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
I feel kind of bad for the guy, but then... whatever, then I just think about Fable 3 and I stop feeling bad for him.
You see cats, and this is how he gets you, because he does he does have this innocence to him that's kind of charming. Like he's really like an idealist when it comes to making games.
Now, if he really isn't giving any more interviews, then I think we've lost a staple of our news segments. So oh well.
Because we lost Phil Fish as well.
Yeah, we'll just have to cut the news entirely at some point. I want to talk about Valve now because Valve were, as you know, they're at GDC. Was it recently? And
yes,
they have thrown out the bombshell that first off, there's now a huge line of Steam machines that you can buy directly from Valve's website, and they've also announced Source 2 and their own HTC and Valve branded VR headset.
Good God, those are not cheap.
Sick. Shitty pre-built. I'm gonna get these.
I like to spend $1,000, $2,000 on the alternate Steam machine.
Well, at least it's not the NVIDIA one. The where you have to pay extra for higher frame rate and resolution.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the Nvidia's conference. However shitty Valve's was, like Nvidia's conference was just abysmal.
Wait a minute.
What did Nvidia say?
Nvidia is releasing, effectively a Steam Box. Go on.
I'm looking at these prices and I'm feeling sick to my stomach.
So wait a minute. The Nvidia one, it's the same hardware, but there's some lock on it.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. They
have a streaming service. They said they want to be the Spotify of video games, and so you can try games out at 30 FPS 720p, and then if you like subscribe to them, then you can get the full 1080p 60 FPS. But the thing is, they're running from servers.
The way it's fucking meant to be played. God damn.
That'll never work. You won't be able to tell the difference on a streaming games over the internet.
The best part of the conference was, I think it was either Battlefield 4 or Crysis 3, where they were like, and here is Crysis 3 running at 720 30 frames a second, and it was just like, You can't unveil it and then just have that big of an anticlimax and then ask that people pay extra for 60 frames a second 1080p.
I can see what they were trying to do, honestly, I can, but because that's what you do with music, right? Like Bandcamp and stuff, you can stream it in low quality, and if you want the FLAC, then you pay. But I don't think it quite works the same with video games.
Dude, this price for the Cyber Steam machine is $1,200.
Yeah, some of the Steam machines go up to like $5,000, and
$5,000.
And there's some of them that have like Intel integrated graphics in them that cost like $500. It's crazy.
Like, okay, I built my own Steam machine back in 2009. It's called a PC, and I just have Steam on it, and it cost me $1,000.
I don't see the point in buying a Steam machine because
this is really awful.
People who can't be bothered to build a PC can already buy pre-builts, and people who are properly want to get into PC gaming will build a PC. Yeah. So I don't really understand who it's for because they're really overpriced as well.
What advantage does this offer? It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they didn't think all the shitty pre-built manufacturers would do that.
Yeah, I think it's a case of Valve saying, okay, if we say we don't have to have a Windows licensing fee, and if we have a more optimized operating system, we can really kind of push the prices down and make something that can compete with consoles and has kind of a similar ease of use to them. And then all the PC builders have gone $700 minimum. Valve haven't put any cap on what they can charge.
The lowest price Steam machine, how well does that compare to like the PS4 and the Xbox One?
The lowest price one costs $500.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the lowest priced one is an Alienware that costs $500. And for
the Alienware one is the lowest priced
for your $500, you get an i3 and an unknown GeForce GTX, 4 gigs of RAM and a 500 gig hard drive. You've got to... These are pre-built PC prices. This is what pre-built PCs cost.
I fucking love the page for the Alienware Steam machine because it's got like fucking glam shots.
This is the most heinous example of decentralization when it comes to console manufacturing.
Look at them USB ports, baby. Look how
these
good
are the
USB ports
same
look.
fucking specs from the Alienware Alpha, which you can get immediately now.
All I can do right now...
It's not the Ouya.
Right now, I can just get a new graphics card, and I will have a new Steam machine, but way cheaper, just the price of one graphics card.
I'm playing City Skylines on my Steam machine right now.
My Steam machine is looking... I'm on Google Chrome, my Steam machine, looking at the prices of other Steam machines.
I wish more people would get into building PCs, because it's really not that hard.
It's so easy.
Yeah,
it's like building
my
Legos.
Friend recommended me a build lately that cost under £400, and it outperformed... PS4 on a lot of games, and that's kind of crazy.
$20,000 US, I think.
Well, it's scary the first time you do it when you're, messing around with about $1,000 worth of somewhat sensitive electronics. But as long as you take the proper precautions, then it's all fine.
Fucking squeezing the CPU in, pushing the little CPU lever.
Easy.
It's very satisfying in a way.
Yeah, feels like you're building your own car.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't trust myself driving a car that I'd built. So I'm not entirely sure that analogy works because now I'm not sure I'd trust a PC that.
I mean, all you really need though is a motherboard. You need a power supply of some sort. You need a CPU, RAM, and a graphics card.
Right, building a PC isn't for everyone, and even if you don't view yourself as a technical person, if you can build a PC, then you are 99% more technical than most people. And I think there is kind of like a market to sell Steam machines to these people, but they're not at these fucking prices. Honest to God, this is because there's no Windows license, and a Windows license will add over $100 to the cost of any pre-built PC. So the fact that these are the cost of a normal pre-built PC, but without Windows, suggests that PC makers think that they can just put $100 per unit in their pocket and go, haha, Steam machines.
I don't entirely I know we said this, but I don't entirely see what Valve's kind of goal with this was. like what they were trying to do. Like if they were trying to make a console killer, or if they were just trying to get a few extra bucks.
I think they're
it's
trying to
more
make a
about
console killer.
It's more about security for Valve than it is for anything else. Like it's about Valve being able to have a platform that they're in control of that Microsoft can't bully them off of.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe in the past has described like Linux, for example, as his kind of get out of jail for free card. In case there's something even worse than Windows 8 that comes along.
Would Microsoft bully Valve off of Windows though? Because Steam essentially is PC gaming at this point.
Oh yes, they would.
How much are they paying you?
Me?
Steam is PC gaming right now.
Well, he's right. Steam is fucking PC gaming.
I know. It's just the way he said
I didn't say that's an ideal situation.
Steam
I'd like
is
if there
a
was more
registered trademark
competition.
of Valve software. Steam is PC gaming is a registered Valve trademark of software.
Fish heads confirmed. Valve shell. I do it for free.
Like, okay, this computer I'm looking at right now, the $5,000 one, the specs are, let's see, it has 14 terabytes of storage space.
Guys,
why would you need that?
It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM.
I could need that.
I have 16 and I've used all 16 several times.
I have 8 gigs of RAM.
Excuse me. You do need 14 terabytes for modern games because fucking all the games are like 50 gigabytes each now. Because they don't compress anything.
That's true.
I mean,
GPU,
have you seen
the
that?
GPU?
Call of
Oh my god, the
Duty? It's like
GPU.
70 gigabytes.
Dude, the GPU is a 3-way SLI NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980. 3 graphics cards.
Guys,
that thing is going to be hotter than the surface of the fucking sun.
An
3
Intel
980s.
Core i7 at 4.7 mega.
You know what? I bet it still can't run Assassin's Creed Unity at 1080p 60 FPS.
14 terabytes, for God's sakes.
Can we segue into the
No, fuck off, Mal.
Yes, we can.
No, hang on.
No,
This
I'm bored of this.
Sorry.
No, I agree. You want to talk about shit for way too fucking long and it's really boring.
I want to talk about
the new engines.
NFL top 10.
A moment of silence for Maxis.
Oh yeah,
that's
who
right.
have been closed by EA and have become just another casualty.
Oh, shit.
It's really sad, actually, because I really like some of Maxis's old games, like the old Sims games. I really love old SimCity games. I really love. It's a sad day for everyone.
They're still going to make more anyway.
What, Max?
I'm kind of dancing on Maxis's grave right now because I'm playing Cities Skylines.
Well, hasn't one of the people who used to work for Maxis made like a mod for City Skylines?
Yeah, no, he was like an art assets guy. But he was talking with like one of the City Skyline devs because they're really active with their community. But he was just like, "Hey, yeah, I made a mod here," and one of the community managers was like, "Hey, if you ever thought of getting a job with Paradox, I could hook you up. We don't do relocation packages, but if you wanted to."
Wait, Will Wright was from Maxis? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was behind like a lot of the really cool like early stuff they had.
Hey, do you know how Will Wright got his idea for Sims from?
How?
Dollhouses.
No, I thought it was like his house burnt down and he had to rebuild like a house.
Oh yeah.
Well, is he Christian from the past or something?
Well, unlike Christian, he actually has talent.
Yeah, he had made things of value.
So what would happen if we burnt down Tim Schafer's house?
Well, it'd be a burnt down house. It wouldn't be very good.
He'd kill himself. Win-win.
My smoothie maker! No! My daughter!
He'd start a Kickstarter asking for 3.3 million to rebuild his house. And
and
then he'd use the 3.3 million to build a room.
Would he lose that fucking sock puppet in the fire?
Wait, what was that about? I need a summary of it.
Are we talking about Tim Schafer? Anyway.
We're supposed to be talking about Maxis and being respectful. No! Anyway, Maxis is closed, but I think the city builder genre is kind of having a little bit of a renaissance now. It was kind of a little bit dormant for a while, but it's definitely on the rise. I think.
There's Banished and City, that new Cities XL one, where it's
no, it's not a Cities XL game because Cities XL kind of sucks. Apparently, it's completely different and it's actually good.
Oh, all right then. Cool.
Yeah, Frankie was talking about it. It was pretty cool.
City Skylines. It's excellent.
Sort of vaguely related to sim games. This is very kind of tenuous connection, but has anyone seen the Roller Coaster Tycoon World trailer?
Nope.
And how? Oh my god! What the fuck happened?
You see, you're really excited. Holy shit!
No. Oh my god, no! It looks awful.
Are you okay? Sound like you're gonna be sick.
Oh no!
You just keep saying, "Oh my god!" as you think about it. Was it traumatizing?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What is this?
Roller Coaster Tycoon World, I think it is.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, I think there was another trailer or like screenshots or something a while back that looked way better than the game. It looks worse than the last 2 games in the series, and it looks like they've taken out a load of like customization from the other games or something. But the thing was, it starts off with this really beautiful CG render of like, you know, a first person view of going down a roller coaster, and then it cuts to the actual view from the game, and it looks like it came right out of 1999 or something. It looks awful. And
this is the Roller Coaster Tycoon mobile game, isn't it, that they were making?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm fairly sure it is. So cap your expectations.
The thing is, the guy at the very end, the last image you see of the trailer is of a guy throwing up. So it just kind of sums it all up, really.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Speaking of guy throwing up, so turkeys. Have you guys heard about this?
Minecraft turkey, yes.
Yeah, Turkey's family ministry says that Minecraft should be banned.
What for?
I think the excuse given is violence. Yeah.
Well, no, it would also encourage kids to be like social recluses.
Was it that as well? Oh yeah, it was suggested that the game could lead to social isolation. Well, maybe that's true.
I'm 100% on board with Turkey with this.
Do kids really play that game that much? Like, I know kids love that game, but do they play for like really long periods?
It's like crack for kids, honestly. It really is.
I don't understand. Like, I can't imagine playing that game for an extended period of time.
Well, I hate children, so the more they play it and the more isolated they become, the happier I'll be.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's a question of containment, you know?
Because I don't like little bastards riding up and down my street in dirt bikes. God, I sound so old when I say that.
Get off my lawn.
The guy says, although the game can be seen as encouraging creativity in children by letting them build houses, farmlands, and bridges, mobs must be killed in order to protect these structures. In short, the game is based on violence. That's the guy from Turkey's family ministry.
GTA and that kind of stuff over there?
Banned.
Wait, what isn't banned then? Because pretty much every game, apart from a puzzle game, revolves around defeating enemies of some kind.
It's Turkey. Everything's banned.
What about grand strategy games?
The Turkish people
inbreeding
like
as fuck, man. Inbreeding as fuck.
Wait, what?
Grand strategy games. All royal families are inbred.
Well, mine aren't that much.
Your family is not inbred, Mal?
I'm not a royal family.
I'm sorry, I thought you were royalty, though.
I've only had to inbreed once.
Mal, shut up. Stop talking about inbreeding, Mal. Some children may confuse the real world with the game world after playing Minecraft, leading them to believe that torturing animals would not give them pain, added the report, which was based on the game experience of a 9-year-old child.
How many 9-year-old childs?
I'm pretty sure once you look away from the screen and you see everything's not made of cubes, you realise that you're not in Minecraft.
I'm pretty sure children have been torturing animals since the beginning of time. You know?
You have to remember. You have to remember that in its initial state, Minecraft was an officially haram game because the only meat available was pork.
That's true.
Oh.
I want to hear what Happy Man was going to say.
Also, you can make your own Quran and burn it.
When my best friend, when he was young, he ate ants all the time. It was his favorite thing.
I used to pour Coca-Cola down into an anthill so I can kill them ironically.
The ants and try to protect them, but he wouldn't stop eating them.
You guys got into fights of ants?
Did he ever eat stinging ants or fire ants?
No, we didn't have any stinging ants.
I got a funny story about fire ants. So I was in boot camp.
Strap in, kids.
Yeah, it's back in
I got
my
a funny
day,
story about fire ants.
2006. So this was in boot camp, and this is towards the end of my time in boot camp, and we were doing this thing called the Crucible. It's like for about a week, pretty much, you get very little sleep, and you're acting like you're in a combat zone. It's stupid. So we're doing a night patrol, and we were, we got a signal to everyone get down on the ground. We're doing like a normal night patrol, combat patrol, kind of like you do in Ghost Recon. And we all get down on the ground, and I'm lying there, and this guy next to me, his name was Ukba. He was from Kenya. He jumps up and starts like dancing for some reason, and I'm like, "What the hell is he doing?" This is in South Carolina, by the way. I don't know if that makes any difference, but so I grab his rifle from him because I think he was having a panic attack. I'm holding his rifle, and then my entire arm lit on fire. I drop the rifle, and just then our drill instructor runs over, and he's shining a light on us, and I can just see like hundreds of fire ants on my arm biting all at once.
What fucking boot camp was this?
That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it
just
happened
feel
to me.
secondhand pain for you now.
Well,
Oh man, yeah, fire ants suck, man.
This was Marine boot
I had
camp.
to deal with those.
But so he got bit all over his body, and he had to go to the hospital.
Jesus.
I got
Shit,
my
that's
arm
hilarious.
bit. I also had to go to the hospital for a couple hours just to
And
get
that's-
some anti-venom, just to
Yeah.
make sure I didn't get allergic reaction. But I
And
was
that's
fine.
how
He was
that's
fine.
how your arm was amputated.
I still have my arm though.
Nope, it's gone. It's
I'm actually.
now.
It's right. It's a cyborg arm. You found
Yep.
me out.
You didn't ask for that.
The future is now. And but yeah, that's fire ants. So ever since then, whenever I see little tiny bright red ants, I kind of pour Coke down their anthill because I wanted to kill them ironically.
What?
Kill them ironically.
Yeah, because they're
Did
drowning
you have to get like
in sugar,
a
which they
Deus
love.
Ex robot arm or something?
Yeah, I had to get. Yeah.
Yeah, he
No.
pours Coke down the anthill, then he crushes the can into a tiny cube with his robotic
No, it's
arm.
probably more like Big Boss's prosthetic arm from the
I
new
was
Metal
waiting
Gear.
for that.
Yeah. But yeah, like
already a demon.
the fire ants though, what's
Ants
crazy
that
is
kill.
like they'll crawl all over you and they will not bite you until they get a signal to bite. And they all do it at once. And it is really painful.
Have
Like,
any
if
of
you
you
ever
ever,
gotten a second degree burn, it feels like that.
have any of you ever heard of bullet ants?
Oh
Yes, they're even more painful, I've heard.
Yeah, it's the second most scientifically considered to be the second most painful bite of any insect.
Isn't
Was
the
it known
tarantula
like as
hawk
bullet
the most
ants?
painful?
I think it's the
imagine
most
it's
painful.
like being shot, to be honest.
I've
Yeah,
been
that's why they
stung-
call it the bullet ant.
I've been stung by a cow killer. That was in Texas.
You
When-
mean like a cattle prod or...
No, they're called velvet ants. Hang on.
Oh, right. You mean an actual cow killer.
There's
Right.
Video games.
There's some tribe from wherever the bullet ant is from, somewhere in South America, where they'll use some kind of smoke to kind of put the ants to sleep, and then they sort of weave them into a glove. And as the coming of age ceremony, you have to put your hand into the glove with
Oh,
all
wow.
their stingers
So,
pointing inwards.
You mean like that bit with in Flash Gordon, or not?
I haven't seen Flash Gordon, but
Yes,
I guess.
imagine
I
it would
assume
be.
it's like the... it's,
Or-
it's my point of reference for this.
No, to make it more hardcore, they should do it like in Dune.
Yeah,
Like if you
I
pull your
agree.
hand out, you die.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime
So-
I see an animal that isn't a mammal that has hair in it, I'm just like, no, fuck that. I'm not touching that. I'm not going anywhere near
Yeah.
Moths
that.
are cute.
Yeah, for the most part, you see any insect with hair on it, just don't touch it.
Except moths. Moths are
Don't
Except my
don't
moths
touch
are pretty
certain
cute, yeah.
kinds of moths.
So
This-
Sim Ant was a great video game
cute.
segueing
Yeah,
from
there's
this.
some ants.
There you
think we
go.
should-
We're back to Will Wright again. Full
This is
circle.
Gentlemen
Excellent.
Discussing Ants, the only podcast made from 99.
No, we don't talk
Yeah.
about ants anymore.
So speaking of Will Wright, my favorite insect is the cicada killer, which is a giant
Yo,
wasp
this is-
that resembles.
this is what
My
we should
favorite
get,
insect is the video games.
My favorite insect is a
Okay.
Origin Machine steam machine, which
Just
costs
before-
$5,000.
Did anyone
So,
here
like-
see the movie Ants?
This is what we
Yeah,
should
no,
get
let's
Animage.
not.
This is what we
Woody
should get Animage in
Allen.
here, so we can talk about.
His top
So
10
Mitch can
G's
talk
of
about deadly
animes.
creatures. You play that game.
Oh yeah, he knows all
Scorpion
about.
suplex.
Hey, Happy, how hard is it being an ant?
Oh my god. Fuck you, Mel.
It's
No.
hard enough that I will now mute you.
Next.
No, please.
Next. First.
Oh wait, I muted myself.
First in-engine screenshots of Banjo-Kazooie spiritual successors. So we were talking a lot about what do you call them? Mascot platformers earlier. So I found this article here that's talking about a game developer that's basically made up of a bunch of ex-Rare people who kind of want to go back into the whole Banjo-Kazooie style of platformer game that has been severely lacking for the past 1.5 generations. Like they kind of died off. They kind of died off around the start of the PS2, GameCube type era, and it made me very, very sad.
There were a few during that era. It was mostly during the last one that, you had some on the Wii, Mario Galaxy.
Like you could see it happen because you could see Ratchet and Clank turn from a platformer into a 3D, third-person shooter game. Like the actual transition.
To be fair, there was a lot of sort of action in the first one. Like I've been replaying the first one recently, and there is a lot of in action and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right now this is called Project Ukulele. Don't think it's going to have that name forever.
I would hope not.
I've heard that the when they revealed the Kickstarter, they basically didn't even really say anything about it and just sort of expected people to donate because they're ex-Rare or something like that. I haven't actually seen it for myself, but that's what I've heard.
I think
about.
Rare doesn't really have the pedigree that it used to, because when you say you're ex-Rare, is this when were you at Rare? Were you at Rare when they were good? When they were making games about downhill skiing where you can see a man's butt for the whole game, or were you at Rare when they were making
Slalom? That game's awesome.
Slalom, yeah.
What you were talking
there?
about? That was so sad.
What if when they say this is a successor to spiritual? What if they say when this is a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, they mean it's a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts?
Hey, why don't they make a spiritual successor to Diddy Kong Racing instead? I would be way more into that.
Kart racing is another genre.
It's called
Actually,
Mario
no,
Kart.
because
No, you know
we've
what?
got
Diddy Kong
Sega,
Racing
so
is
whatever.
fucking awesome. And I want another one.
I really like that kind of. I like kart races with those kind of weapon systems where you don't just pick up a weapon. There's interesting things with upgrading.
Yeah, you can
stuff.
upgrade them.
Yeah, that's because it adds a very nice ebb and flow, and it adds an element of I really want to discharge this weapon, but should I
Also,
wait and upgrade it? It's cool.
Like many N64 games, the voice acting is fucking hilarious. Oh, Banjo! Whoa!
You see, Rare have a whole catalog of characters from Diddy Kong Racing that I'm sure they could revive and make a mediocre platformer game about.
I don't think.
Apparently, Rare had showed off some tech demo with the Kinect with Banjo-Kazooie.
You said with the Kinect, I just stopped listening.
Yeah. No,
What I really want
the other day.
What I really want is another 3D platformer Rayman game. Now that I think about it, that would be my jam.
I know this wasn't 3D, but did you play Legends?
Yeah, and I thought it wasn't very good because it was just the same as Origins, but a bit shinier.
I thought it was okay, but I thought it was just the lack of challenge that kind of killed it for me. It's just so easy.
I think Rayman games, they're supposed to not be too difficult to just go through and get to the ending. All 3D platformer games are essentially supposed to be easy to get to the ending, but hard to 100%. And I kind of like that as a difficulty model for games.
Yeah,
like Mario Galaxy was like
Freeze,
that.
Tropical Freeze is perfect in terms of difficulty.
that's not a 3D platformer though. That's a side scroller.
No.
Yeah, but it's. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. It's a platformer that came out a year ago and no one played it for some reason.
I think no one owns a Wii U.
Because it's on the Wii U.
Yeah,
I own a Wii U and I haven't played it.
You should, because it's great.
Well, I was too busy playing The Wonderful 101, the best game on the Wii U.
Well, that's a good choice of games to play, but you should also play Tropical Freeze.
Do I have to learn the Donkey Kong lore first?
Yeah. And you have to be able to recite the Donkey Kong rap by heart.
And you have to watch those movies.
Here we
go. Like Crystal Coconut?
Let Mel try.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I have no style.
I want to see how far you go.
I have no
He thought
grace.
about it and then he realized it would be too embarrassing.
Has a funny face. Sorry. I think we should find a way to segue into the next news topic of...
Speaking of Diddy Kong, speaking of Donkey Kong, Kanye West is working on Only One, a video game.
Oh, yeah.
It's 6 months into development, and it's about his mother going through the gates of heaven.
What?
Wait,
How is that going to work?
What?
Is he working on a Donkey Kong game?
No.
No, Katz was just being kind of straight up racist there.
What?
No, not the Donkey Kong thing. The thing about his mother going through the gates of heaven. I've heard that from other people too.
Oh yeah,
apparently that's legit.
He's flat out said it. Yeah.
Like, how is that going to work?
What's the?
Is it going to be like a
Kanye West is kind of a broad strokes guy.
What's the sequel?
Doesn't really do the specifics.
What's the sequel going to be? A family member goes to hell?
Is it going to be like a reverse Bayonetta?
I think you're overthinking things.
No, it's gonna be like Bayonetta. She fights her way into heaven.
It's gonna be a mobile app.
She beats up Saint Peter.
Yeah.
Going up.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a mobile game, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's gonna go up to the heavens.
I want. Speaking of
Speaking of heaven.
Oh my God, Mal. Go on, Mal.
Speaking of the clouds, I think we should segue into our next topic of the new engines and shit. Source.
Well, they're not new.
Unreal,
So Source 2 got confirmed.
New.
Yeah, but there's nothing really to say about them.
Well, I think.
What about the suspicious virtual reality demo that Valve did with Portal assets?
They always do that. They'll always do demos like that.
Generally,
it doesn't
I'm very
mean
excited
to
about any kind of
speculate.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
well,
I don't
yes,
like
it is.
speculating anymore.
Yes, it is.
Generally, I'm quite excited about virtual reality after my experience with the Oculus Rift, but I'm not really sure about the Valve one. I don't know.
The Unreal, the way engine, the way it works now is like you'll be leased for it, and if you make profits above a certain margin, they get 5% of your profits, which I think is pretty fair actually.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Unity and Source now are all... Actually, no, Unity does a similar thing where it's like really cheap to get into and you only pay them if you start making reasonable money. And Source, I'm pretty sure Source 2, the deal is it's completely free to use as long as your game is on Steam.
Which people can complain about Steam thing for DRM, but I think all three of those are quite lenient. So I think those could actually contribute to people making some interesting games.
I mean, you can see that like indie games now have much better graphics and stuff than they used to 5-10 years ago, because the barrier of entry has come down so far thanks to stuff like the Unity Asset Store, and thanks to stuff like Unity making it so you don't have to pay a lot of money or have a lot of expertise to make a really shitty horror game.
You say expertise?
Expertise, yeah.
Speedy expertise.
So yeah, there'll probably be a lot of hot garbage made of it, and probably like 100 survival sandbox games.
Exactly 100 survival sandbox games.
Maybe there'll be like 1 to 5 good games that come out of it, and I think that'd probably be worth it.
Whatever. It's not a topic that interests me or anyone.
People make
excited about Vulkan.
So the next topic is ants. No, the next topic is that's the end of news.
Oh.
I have something
very uneventful.
Does anyone else have any other business they'd like to bring up?
Okay,
I wish they'd make more tactical
this
shooters.
Game called the Talos Principle?
Yeah, actually, I played the demo.
It's an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, so someone accidentally revealed their next sort of anti-piracy measures. You know how in Serious Sam 3, if you pirate the game, you have this invincible pink scorpion that would just chase after you.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And so the Talos Principle, it's not so exciting, but this is where if you go into the elevator and you try to go on like the second floor or something like that, your elevator just stops midway, and all you could do is just stare out in the sky, and you just try pressing the buttons, and you're just stuck. I think that's pretty much stuck. Yeah,
I think that's the best kind of copy protection, because I think you'll only know about it until you're ways away into the game, and it's just like a big fuck you.
I think Earthbound is the best kind of copy protection.
Yeah, Earthbound.
Oh my god, Earthbound is just the biggest troll of all anti-piracy measures.
What's theirs? I've never pirated Earthbound.
Let me explain it.
Or any game.
What happens when it starts is the way that a lot of, because this was when there weren't really flash carts or emulators, it was when people mostly use like pirate cartridges. So it would check the size of the RAM, the SRAM, to make sure it was a certain size, because a lot of pirate cartridges would just use the biggest size possible, and it wouldn't play if the size of the RAM, if the SRAM was too big. So what pirates might do is they would go into the ROM and just change the value, but there was a second part of the program that would check to make sure that that value hadn't then changed, and if it had, then it would make the game way more difficult. And if you somehow managed to get through the game when it was way more difficult, then at the very end, it would purposefully crash right before you fight the final boss and delete your save file.
When I say more difficult, I mean like it's ridiculous. The encounter rate was like 5 times or 10 times or something. It's insane. There's actually people out there now who make kind of a thing of playing like Pirate Earthbound.
I don't know, that game's
if you're bored,
kind of hard as it is. Imagine that fucking, you know that zombie tunnel with the zombie dogs that you have to go through to reach Belch's hideout?
Was it Stalker?
Oh, right, yeah.
Imagine that shit with 5 times the number of encounters. That would be horrible. Just the zombie dogs are like, oh man.
Imagine the final dungeon with 5 times the number of encounters. My god. Anyway, I think it's time for a conundrum. How about you?
Okay.
Yeah.
My conundrum this week. What's the most irritating video game character?
Tails.
What's her face from Bayonetta?
Tails? What?
What's her face?
What's her face from Bayonetta? What?
The little Bayonetta. Cereza.
Yeah, Cereza's kind of annoying.
I thought Navi from Legend of Zelda.
I don't think Cereza is...
Navi's overrated.
Every platinum
overrated
game...
as being annoying or just in general?
Every platinum game has an annoying kid. Wonderful 101 had
Metal
Luca.
Gear Rising.
Yeah, Metal Gear Rising has whatever the fucking kid is you meet in the sewers.
I was annoyed by Raiden in the second
Luca and the
Metal Gear
Wonderful
Solid.
101 is a big contender.
Well, obviously there's the annoying fan from Oblivion, but he's like intentionally so it doesn't...
Oh, yeah.
Bayasura! It's the grand champion!
Standing
Bayasura.
The way he says, next to me.
Next to me.
It's great.
He's great, yeah.
It's so easy to avoid him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason with Oblivion, I was so much more just fine with killing people, just outright.
So like, you know who's worse than Navi in Ocarina of Time? The fucking owl. You talk to him and he gives you instructions and you just keep pressing A really fast. And then it's like, do you want to hear this again? You press A. I gotta hear it again now.
Yeah,
He's
that
way
was...
more
Am
than
I
Navi.
the person who never had a problem with that? The same with Nurse Joy in the Pokemon Center. Just press like B.
Annoying characters.
Also, I didn't play a lot of the game, but the fucking bear from Persona 4.
Oh, Teddy. Yeah,
I played that game for like 4 hours and then I quit. I can't imagine having to play like a 60-hour game with that fucking character.
I thought you loved that game now.
You get used to it.
I was annoyed in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 when they had the sergeant who was played, I forgot the actor's name, but the guy who's playing as the sergeant kept telling your character Ramirez to do a wide variety of extremely difficult and perilous tasks.
Is it the guy who also plays
he plays
what's his name in Mass Effect?
Yeah, he also did the voice for the Captain Anderson.
Yeah, and
Keith Richards?
Yeah, Keith Richards. That's it.
Do this.
Yeah, he's like, Ramirez, take over this one building full of Russians. Ramirez, get the SAM site up. Ramirez, go to take out these armored vehicles. He just kept telling you to do shit, and it's just like, I'm just one person. I'm one person.
Yeah, like Javi mentions, JRPGs can be pretty bad for us if there's like a character you really hate that will never leave the party. Like me, Happy.
I have a hard.
I was going to talk about Presea from Tales of Symphonia, who Happy despises.
Well, she's not annoying. Like, she doesn't get in your face and yell a bunch of shit. She's just like completely emotionless and like not a character at all. And
in terms of JRPGs, the pawns in general from Dragon's Dogma are pretty annoying just because they all say the same lines.
I think can you set that down? I remember doing it and they didn't talk that much, but I kind of got used to it in Dragon's Dogma.
Wolves hunting packs arisen.
Yeah, the wolves! What's a large tree? 'Tis even bigger up close. The Duke
Yo, what about the-
stands and commissions new roads.
What about the computer guy from Metroid Fusion?
Oh my god. That game in general had way too much boring dialogue.
It's too talky. Yeah.
At least it's not Other M.
Well, it was kind of
Well, you can
a
skip
sign
the
of what
cutscenes
was
in that
coming.
one, so well, it's still a terrible game.
I think a lot of annoying characters oftentimes happen because of bad writing too.
Yeah, because
Well, yeah, that's
they
why
gotta
they
have
would.
constant exposition, so that's why they have those characters.
Yeah,
How about
but like
the
a lot of-
entire main cast of Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13, Final
let's not-
Fantasy, all of them actually, except for 7 had annoying characters too.
No,
Oh,
it's gotten way worse in the
what
more
about
recent
Claptrap?
ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Oh god, no.
Every
Tiny
character
Tina.
in Borderlands, whenever they open their mouth, I'm just like, oh my god, stop talking. This isn't funny. Oh my god, please shut up. Shut up. I
Borderlands-
want to go back to doing boring fetch quests.
Yeah, I think we have a winner because as soon as you said his name, everyone collectively
Yeah.
groaned. It's just his name. I think we have a winner.
guess.
I don't
It's the
think.
sign that no one likes him.
Yeah.
I would say that it's
I
Claptrap
don't
as well as
mind him.
Tiny Tina, as well as just about every character in that game.
Just Borderlands. Just
There are
Borderlands.
some that
The
stand out
character.
more than others, though.
I don't
Yeah.
think Borderlands should count. I think that's cheating.
I know.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Sorry,
so
Tiny
we'll-
Tina annoyed the shit out of me.
Okay,
because all
okay,
my friends
worst
kept saying how
character,
funny
Anthony
she was,
Birch.
and she wasn't.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
see,
Anthony
that
Burke is
was
the worst
that
character
was
in the
all right.
game.
So a little bit of behind the scenes GOIP stuff. I was suggesting we do gather your controversy, and one of the things was we just talk about completely uncontroversial things. And the first thing I came up with was Anthony Birch is not a very good writer.
As an uncontroversial opinion to have on the
Yeah.
internet.
Generally accepted.
I just want to say, right, you could say the same for pretty much every NPC from Skyward Sword. Like, I mean, obviously there's Fee, but then there's stuff like the Kickwees, who just waffle on and say, Kwee!
The what?
The Kickwees from Skyward Sword.
Oh, I always called them Kiwis.
no,
The
they
birds that look like nut sacks.
what?
The
They look
weird
like
little
nutsacks.
panda
Oh, yeah.
squirrel things.
They're fucking, all of them are just awful. And then you have like just random NPCs scattered around for the seemingly sole purpose of annoying you, like the clown guy who makes irritating noises and waffles on.
At least he's just on an island by himself.
Or the dragons that are like, hey, before I do anything for you, you must prove your worth with a test. Here is a test. Or now go collect things.
The whole game was just a load of fetch quests that made the pacing of Skyward Sword in general was just atrocious.
I don't think I can think of a single NPC in that game that I liked. Even Zelda, all she really does is just like string
Groose.
you along and make you do things. All Groose is really is an anime archetype. So
Fuck you, he's the best.
You can't not love that hair.
I do kind of love the hair.
I think Groose was
See?
the only redeeming thing about Skyward Sword for me.
So there for Groose, Catsman. You have to
What was
confess
with
your
Link's
love.
lips in that game?
What was with Link's hips in that game?
Not his hips. Whoa, whoa. I meant his lips. He has like huge lips.
He has
Yeah, man.
huge hips.
There's childbearing hips in Link.
Not hip. Like, okay, guys, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like literally, when they first showed his face in one of the trailers, I was like, God, what the fuck?
I
Did
know
he get
what
stung
you
by a
mean,
bee
yeah.
on his
He
lips or
looks
something?
kind of like a blow-up doll. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of lips in Skyward Sword. And there's
People
not many
in-
lipless people.
Characters in Skyward Sword always wear sashes now. It's like the Legend of Zelda character design cliches 101. Just like have like a little like bit of cloth around everyone's waist. No, just like everyone in the whole game.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't get with Skyward Sword is it's meant to be a prequel set hundreds of years earlier at the very least, but everything's like more advanced than it is in later games.
I know it's how you ask questions about the deep lore.
I think that's about it for irritating characters in games. But actually, no.
How did we not mention Slippy?
I was going to say Slippy Toad. That was going to be my next thing.
Fuck,
Just
get
in
this guy
general,
off me.
I think you have to be very careful with characters who talk in the kind of where they just make noises kind of way. Like, it'll lead you into disaster unless you really know what you're doing.
Well,
Falco
he
is
acted
more
one of
annoying
them.
to me in that game because he's just an asshole to you all the time when you save him. It's like, I've been saved by Fox.
Hey, Einstein.
How do they know who Einstein is, by the way?
Yeah.
There was like an animal Einstein in the Star Fox lore.
Obviously Star Fox is set in a universe where humanity expanded across the stars and then destroyed itself somehow, but all the animals it uplifted just like take its technology.
That's
and
like
items.
every other story that tries to excuse anthropomorphic characters.
Also, I got another question about Star Fox. It's kind of unrelated, but so obviously Corneria. Those people are dogs, because Fox is from there and General Pepper's from there. And in the end of Star Fox 64, all the soldiers are dogs. So where are Falco and Peppy and Slippy from?
Other
Not
planets.
Corneria?
Are they also from Corneria?
No.
Or is like Slippy like an Asian or something? Like,
Yeah, sure.
Like Cornerian Asian?
Sure.
Damn, he's French.
You can't.
Asian
Birds are like the black people of Star
Yeah.
Fox.
They're like the red guards.
Well, no,
of
So
Star
no,
Fox.
Star Fox is just the alternate reality where we finally accepted furries, and then
Falco is
they
obviously,
took over.
Falco's
Here's the
obviously
thing.
Italian, because
okay,
he has an
Sonic
Italian
then.
name.
Here's the thing. Maybe it's an expansion of the Barkley lore.
Sure.
And they're
Fucking
the
animal
descendants-
people.
Yeah, the descendants of the animal people.
Mike, almost anything could be inserted into Barkley lore. Let's be honest here.
Barkley is the
And
best. What are you
has.
talking about?
And Space
Also,
Jam,
There's another
Cyberpunk,
question about Star Fox.
Barkley
Also,
2
now
is
that I
coming
think
out
about
when?
it.
Irish mythology.
Why is
Maybe-
Fox's dad a human?
Maybe the guy who tried to gas that furry convention
Wait,
saw
he
the
is?
dark future we're heading towards and tried to stop it.
Yeah, you never played the fucking F-Zero? James
No.
McCloud is in that game, he's a human.
Oh, right. But
Oh,
hold
yeah,
on,
yeah.
James McCloud is a fox at the end of Star Fox 64,
But
so...
he's a human in F-Zero, though.
No, this runs with my theory. Like, probably the Fox's dad named himself after an ancient Earth hero
Maybe.
of racing.
Sure.
But,
Yeah,
but no, that's
that's-
not on Earth, though. F-Zero's in space.
Space hero of space.
You know,
Space
hey,
hero of space.
Did Fox like grow up knowing his dad? Because maybe he just because he's obviously imagining James, like coming in and saving him because James is dead. So maybe he's just like he assumes that James McCloud is a fox, even though he's actually a human. I don't know.
Sure.
But then, how is James McCloud's son a fox?
I
That's
don't really want to know why,
Obviously, 'cause he had
that's going
sex
to get
with a
really
fox.
awkward. Yeah,
Right,
sure.
he had sex
What if-
with a
oh my
fox,
God.
like an actual
This conversation is retarded.
No,
He's-
a fox.
Where's
no,
fox.
no,
An
no, 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 what if-
anthropomorphic fox.
Yeah, a fox
What
furry.
if James McCloud is like a fox? But
Highlander.
It's like he's like their universe is furry, so he dresses
no.
up as a human for the F-Zero race.
No, I know. He's like a werefox. He changes shape.
Perfect.
Dude,
This is
Dumb
How
as
many-
living
how many,
theory
like-
and pop fiction.
how many
think, to be honest with you,
DeviantArt
Rusty would
people
be
do
our
you think
expert,
call
wouldn't he?
themselves werefox? I think just quite a lot.
oh man.
On every level except spiritual,
Can I be
I am
a-
a fox.
Can I be a were-pangolin? Because that'd be pretty cool.
Can I be a were capybara? That would be
A were-corgi. How about that?
A werehog, like Sonic Unleashed. What the fuck?
That's a
is
great
that?
game.
Oh, well, yap at the moon.
Why did he have stretched
Is
arms?
it though?
No, that game's fucking terrible. Just like all Sonic games.
I have a friend who bought that game and really tried to like it, but he also bought Fable 2 and really tried to like it. So, yeah.
Dude,
I can't
I
blame
know.
people for trying
Dude,
to.
I have
Bad
a
luck.
friend who said when that game came out, he went, "That game is what's this guy's name? The game is Stephen Fry in it. It's got to be good." That was his reasoning for liking that game.
Since we're going
Oh, man.
completely off topic, Stephen Fry's husband, people.
What about him?
What, do you fancy him?
I'm not a gay.
He's a little too
people.
boyish for me. Guy looks pretty young.
All right then.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
it says here that Fox McCloud's dad is just Fox with sunglasses. That's it.
In going back to our original topic, I remembered another one. Eddie from Mega Man, or Flip Top, or whatever you call him.
Oh yeah.
From which
I
Mega
just-
Man?
From any of the Mega Man games that have Eddie in them. Basically, if you don't know, Eddie, basically they added him in 4, and he just kind of, in the middle of a level, he will just walk along and his top will flip up and he'll give you a random item. So if you're like having a bit of trouble with the level, he'll be like, hey, take this. And then he'll throw you like a small weapon refill and fuck off. And you'll be like, oh, well, yeah, I really could have used like health there, Eddie, but thanks anyway for this small weapon refill.
That's kind of mean of him.
Yeah.
Like you're just
What a
lying
fucking
there
asshole.
and like your robot guts are torn out and he just throws a AA battery at your face and flies away.
Yeah,
I
pretty
just
much.
thought of the ultimate one. ultimate annoying sidekick. Every Pokemon rival except Gyariok.
Yep.
There are other Pokemon rivals?
Yeah, okay, your rival in Gold and Silver is okay, but after that, your rival is your friend. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? I want a rival who hates me and wants to kick my ass legitimately. But
in
no,
every
all these guys
Pokemon game after Gold and Silver, your rival is like the annoying neighbor kid who thinks you're their friend, but really you just hate them, but they won't
it's
fuck
Millhouse.
off.
And
I think X and Y was the worst in that regard.
Oh god,
yeah,
yes.
it is, because he tells you ahead of time that he's going to fight you instead of a surprise, like Gary does.
Anyway, I gotta scoot now. I've got to head off. So I'll see you guys later.
Bye, John Williams.
Bye, Mr. John Williams.
Bye, John Williams.
I hope you compose more soundtracks.
Godspeed, John Williams.
Thanks for that, Mal.
Dude, whenever you beat him, it's
Thank
like,
you.
they always go, oh, well, see you later. Like, they don't care at all when you beat him. It's not satisfying. And fucking, dude, and I started playing, which was the latest Pokemon? X and Y or whatever. I started playing that game. I saw that you have 3 rivals, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna talk so much. Because they always talk a shit ton, too. Fucking hate the rivals of Pokemon.
They should,
Except Gyariok, he's awesome.
They should put a mode in Pokemon where whenever you win a fight, you get to kill one of your opponent's Pokemon. And if you lose a fight, they get to kill one of yours, and like you have to stab it and like.
Now, are you the kind of person that has to break other kids' toys just because you couldn't play with their toy anymore? It's like
I quite like his idea, actually.
You realize that the Moupedia isn't funny when you try to add it on purpose.
Oh, he got called out.
Oh no!
Damn happy.
This can make it more hardcore, like emergent rivalries.
You've
and
been playing
hatreds.
too much Lisa, I think, and you're like, oh, permadeath would be great in everything.
Anyway, the one thing I would add to Pokemon is just allow you to pick a Pokemon and then start the game, and no bullshit, no story at all. Just start you in your starting town right away and let you go.
Hey, I play Pokemon games for the engrossing storyline.
Yeah, I know.
I play Pokemon to be reminded that they love Lucario so fucking much. I put them every game. Whatever. Are we done?
Really is
we're done with this
lightning
conundrum.
of Pokemon, isn't he?
Now, I'm sure there's something I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, we had a book club this time, and the game was Hard Time by Mdickie.
Fuck that game.
God, I love this game.
I fucking love this game.
Mdickie.
Hard Time
Probably
is
the best
great.
game I ever played.
Both Catsman and I could not play it because it ran at 5 frames per second for both of us for some reason.
Yeah, but I was in the wrecking crew with Mao for it, so I got a good dose of it. But yeah, it just runs
amazing.
like shit on some computers, and I haven't found a reason
Did this
yet.
happen to anyone else here?
What, running at 5 frames?
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen to me.
Are you using Windows 7 or Windows 8?
Windows 7.
Is anyone here using Windows 8?
Only me, and
I
I
think-
have no
Might
problem.
be Windows 8.
So,
yeah.
it sounds like someone
So-
needs a downgrade.
Let's talk about Hard Time, because it is the shit.
It's fucking great.
My character was dumb as bricks, and he was not smart enough to cook food.
I love
Yeah.
Mitch's playthrough. That's all I gotta say, man.
Mitch's playthrough.
Yeah, Mitch played the
judge
game
just,
as
was
Christian.
on his side.
I was really sad I missed that.
He,
Is it
he
still,
got out of jail free every time when he committed a crime.
Is Mitch's playthrough still in the recent broadcasts?
Probably not.
It's like a day ago or something.
Yeah, it was yesterday, so probably.
Me, Catsman, Baron, and Ramal streamed it, and it was a lot of fun. Can I introduce what the game is about?
Yeah.
So I haven't actually explained. Okay, you have committed a crime. The crimes can range from like fraud, prostitution, attempted murder, all the way to terrorism, and you're being sent to Hard Time in Southtown Correctional Facility. Like, it's supposed to be your sentence, I think, even for terrorism, is only 64 days. So the judge is like, we're sending you in for a small time, but it's going to be a hard time. What this equates to is that everyone fights all the time. All the time, even though
I didn't see a lot of that game, but I appreciated how there was just a constant brawl in the
Oh my god!
Yes. You start the game, and as like the person is talking to you about like, hello, welcome to prison, there's two like wardens in the background beating the shit out of one another until one of them's dead.
Yeah, this is emergent gameplay for us. Like, Todd Howard, fuck off. This is emergent because, like, the warden of the facility got murdered by another security guard as I was just starting the game. We saw him get murdered. He dropped an assault rifle, and I stomped on his corpse. And I had to go to court for having an assault rifle on me, but they cleared me.
That's hard time, all right.
And then when they cleared you, everyone told you that you were a snitch.
I know.
You'd only been there for like 15 minutes.
That's hard time, though.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Like, you wake up after, like, when lockdown is lifted, and you get up, you just walk outside, and there's a brawl happening at all times.
I love the part
in
where
the common area.
Mal found a sword or something in the metalworking
workshop.
area and went completely fucking mental and started attacking people with it. And then the reason he got called off to court was because he had a broom that he shouldn't have.
Yeah, like the game can like see you commit crimes, but it doesn't store what the crimes are. So I guess what could happen is, like, I don't know, you shoot the warden in the fucking head, you stomp on his corpse, and like people see that, but then you pick up a brick, and they're like, "Hey, you don't allow that brick. We're sending you to court for illegal possession of a brick." They'll completely forget about you killing the warden.
Illegal possession of a brick.
Yeah,
not
Mal
a brick
got
of coke, just a normal brick.
Mal got a side quest involving some guy who's like, "Hey, can you get a brick for me?" And Mal is like, sure. And then there's a brick like 5 feet away on the ground. So Mal walks over, gives him the brick like 10 seconds later. The guy's like, thanks, here's $100. So from then on, we measured all of the money of like everything in the game in bricks. So like a guy wants $50 as protection money. Like, no, that's fucking half a brick, man. Are you serious?
Is this what Mdickie thinks that prison is like?
Yes,
I hope so.
Pretty much.
But
I mean,
don't,
he
like-
had the hardcore prison music playing at the beginning too.
oh yeah,
People don't smuggle like shivs or anything to each other. They smuggle bricks.
They
Assault
smuggle
rifles.
bricks in broad daylight.
well,
They smuggle bricks and assault rifles. There's such an insane variety of weapons.
yeah. Although I think the reason why everyone fights all the time is because this is Southtown. And Southtown's
Yeah.
a place from fucking SNK universe of fighting games. So I guess this is more like they're all like fighting games, and they all have weird names as well. The prisoners. There's like, I think there's Big Pussy and King Sin. These are the two guys I killed in the showers.
That's
And somehow people knew I killed them despite there being no one else there.
Right. If you go
That
into
is
prison,
oblivion.
if you go into prison with a nickname like Big Pussy, you're just asking for it.
Yeah. Personally, I think this game has a good message because I feel as though it's all about rehabilitation in prison.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it does seem to emphasize.
There's all a chance to get better as a person. Like you can read, you can improve your intelligence, you can go lift, you can improve your agility, you can fight terrorists.
In the jail.
Okay, no, you can't actually fight terrorists, but I'm just referring to sometimes there'll just be terrorist attacks on the prison for some reason. And what that equates to is there's explosions just happen.
Well, no,
randomly.
that's someone using dynamite. You can use dynamite as a weapon in that game.
You know, that
Sure?
wouldn't be a bad
Yes.
idea. Just blow up, attack a prison so that all the inmates get out to spread chaos.
Yeah, you can use this game. Like,
Seems amazing.
eventually, you can work your way up from working in the cafeteria to using filing papers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then you can get smarter and then use a computer to do stuff. And you get money doing these things, if I remember correctly.
What do you spend money on? Paying
Don't
for protection?
know, actually.
Paying
I
for
think that's what it
protection
is.
mostly, yeah. But yeah, I really love the idea, and I actually really love how emergent it is, because like you'll kill someone and their friend will come up like, hey, or you'll kill the warden or whatever, and like some wardens will be like, hey, I'm gonna make your life hell, and then you can try and get rid of them, or you can try and make nice with them. It gives you a lot of freedom, I think.
It does.
I think inevitably, though, we are going to make comparisons to McDickie's other masterpieces, like the New Testament. And the one about Muhammad. I can't remember what that one was called. The New Testament 2 Electric Boogaloo, I guess.
All of Mdickie's games are essentially the same. You're dropped into some weird, crudely made world where nothing seems to make sense, and then you do wrestling moves while people talk at you about bullshit.
The fight system's not so bad.
You can easily mod the game, slap that face.
All I was disappointed by was in the New Testament, there was a much larger variety of body sizes. Like, you have one person that's like 18 feet tall almost. It looked
it's huge. 1 foot to like 11 feet. So
11 feet, sorry.
That's
I'm
amazing.
off by 7 feet.
You sound
it's
like
massive. Yeah, it's like huge. But I wish you could see that. I wish they had that in the hard time one
as well.
Like, how could they fit in the prison?
Yeah.
Suggested to Mao that he replaced one of the face textures with his own face.
I should do that.
But that fucker didn't do it.
I probably got the message too late or something. I don't remember, but I really should have. Anyway, other thing I like the game, there's like 6 gangs you can join. There's the white supremacist gang, the Black Power gang, the Muslim extremist gang, the gang of strong people. The gang of smart people.
The beefy guys.
Yeah,
beefy guy squad.
There's a gang of smart people as well. People who hold themselves to a high standard, and like then there's a gang of nice people.
Wait, so like the other gangs aren't strong? Usually prison gangs work out quite a bit.
I know, but I guess
really
these guys
not
work
much
out
else
most.
to do.
Yeah, I know. Well, that is stab people.
But the
not all
of course,
the time.
to join the white supremacist gang, you have to be white. Join the Black Power gang, you have to be black. Join the Muslim gang, you have to be race Muslim. And I found that quite funny.
That's the race. Good job.
Okay.
Because I was very confused.
Thinks.
You can be 3 like shades of skin: white, light brown, and dark brown. I'm going to assume light brown, and they refer to them as Asians in the game. So I assume like South Asians or
I saw that
Arabs.
and assumed it was Hispanic.
Yeah,
now I don't know.
As well. I'm really confused.
I honestly have no idea.
Is there
And they
no
have
Latino
yellow
gang?
skin color for Asian.
No, I don't think there is a Latino color.
There's only
weird.
3 skin colors.
I know.
So it's very confused when someone came up to me and said, "Hey man, us Asians, we got to stick together." I'm like, I'm Asian.
So he has a gang of strong people and all that shit, but he doesn't have a Latino gang. You didn't think of that?
No.
It's not a very well-made game.
It's great. It's amazing. I love it.
I really like how avant-garde it is.
It is memorable.
My complaint is you can't initiate conversation. So the only way you can affect the game is like by having other people ask you to do stuff or just kill things.
My complaint with the game is like most of the game is a bit shit.
I think it's a masterpiece.
I think Mdickie is a very interesting person because he believes like he's the universe's greatest game developer and that nobody has actually like recognized his genius as of yet.
Is that why he's the only one who works on any of his games?
And the credits for Hard Time are just like his name like 20 times.
And even before the credits in all of his games, he always feels the need to put, this game was made by a single person. Think about how that makes you feel.
And he has like quotes from Bruce Lee and shit.
No, that's in the New Testament. Or are there quotes in
it's on his,
Hard Time
there's
too?
quotes in Hard Time as well. I can't remember what they are.
New Testament has quotes from Kanye West and Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, there's lots of quotes.
Oh shit! There's this.
Really
he has a
weird.
new game, Mdickie. It's called Wrestling Revolution 3D.
He makes a lot of wrestling games, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, because he uses a wrestling engine, there's the prisoners will occasionally fight by, like suplexing each other and shit in Hard Time. I have to say,
The Making of a Prophet, that's the second one about Muhammad.
the assets in all of his games are the definition of programmer graphics, but there's something kind of endearing about them.
Yeah, kind of endearing about them. I agree. I don't agree. Everyone's face is just flat, and it just looks like they're all constantly walking into invisible glass doors. It's brilliant. Not brilliant.
Oh, one of his other games is called Under Development. Gaming history was literally made this time, and a game about the game's industry itself, spanning over 30 years from 1981 to 2011 and beyond.
From
games started
1981 to 2011.
Games started in 1981.
Space Invaders doesn't exist.
Zork didn't exist.
Thanks,
Cathode ray
Mdickie.
amusement device doesn't exist.
So yeah, if you ever get a free 30 minutes and want to feel better about your own ability to make games, just play Hard Time.
And aren't on Windows 8.
Yeah, as long as you're not on Windows 8.
Yeah.
Is there any other business, or can I say the outro now and we can think of a few Family Feud questions?
That's
Oh,
it.
by the
Then
way,
next,
you comment people. You should tell us in the comments what Family Feud questions you'd like to have, and we'll have them. Okay, good. Thank you.
Such
Fucking
examples
send
like what
us
are the NFL top
voicemails,
10
people.
G-Sub players and the top 10
Come on,
G-Sub
people.
coach?
Voicemails.
Yeah, send us voice. Oh shit! Fuck! Shit! Fuck! Shit! Fuck! Shit!
fuck.
Fuck!
Oh my god,
what is
I
it?
totally forgot to send in my voicemail.
Is there a voicemail?
Everybody knows shit. Fuck. Do 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 do. It's that song. No. Yeah, there are two. There are two voicemails, and they're both from JF. And
God damn.
one of them is called "I found your OkCupid profile. We had a 98% match. I was just too nervous to message you." And the other one is called "You guys are pieces of shit." So
Which one should we listen to first?
we'll listen to them in chronological order. I'll just put them in my Dropbox.
No, we should listen to him backwards. So it's like in Fallout, you find out the end first, and then you go back and
Let's solve this puzzle.
JF, he's truly a puzzle, isn't he? Isn't he a puzzle, guys? I think he's a
No.
puzzle. Yeah.
He's pretty simple. Drop him in the box.
Damn it, we need to end this. I have to
Oh my god, Mal, shut up.
What?
Mao, this is not Endless Legend. You can't just quit in the middle of the game. And then have us all quit at the same time as well to make you feel better
No,
about
guys,
quitting.
can we please move on, guys? Come on now. Guys, let's move on.
I'm getting very... Is anyone else much more annoyed at fish heads being annoyed at Mao than they are at Mao?
me.
Good.
It gets so fucking old when every podcast Mal gets so impatient to move on to the next
It
subject.
gets more
Gets so
annoying the
fucking
amount
fish.
that you complain about it, because you
Hey,
complain about it
I
more
think
than he does
we
it.
all need a group hug right now.
Also,
So,
it
come on,
gets
bring it
really
in.
old
Now.
when you talk about one subject for 30 minutes, and it's usually a really boring subject.
You're doing
Come
a great
on.
job. Doing
Wow.
a great job.
I can feel the love right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That actually sounded like a hug. How did you pull that off?
Well, this is what I did, right? I stretched and I patted my back at the same time.
Oh, okay. I seriously thought, like, wait, are they actually hugging?
anyway,
Let's bring it in, guys. Bring it in
Content.
again. Bring it in.
here's the first voicemail from JF.
Hello, Mr. Catsman, and all you jidivers, good divers, gentlemen. I'm curious what your favorite bit of video game trivia is. Please tell me something, as many things as you want to, of trivia about video games. Personally, I do love John Carmack's comment over the fast inverse square root he used for Quake 3's lighting. It's not his algorithm, but he does get a lot of credit for it. Either way, look up his comments on it. You can find it on Wikipedia. If you haven't seen it yet, that is. Oh yeah. But also, like, I don't know. Whatever out of these, what do you prefer? The Neo Geo Pocket, the Wonder Swan Color, or the PS Vita?
What the fuck? Well, what is he doing while he's talking? It's like he's doing something. It's really weird.
Well,
I love his
masturbating.
delivery. I love it.
My favorite piece of trivia is that Suda51. Mitch talked about this in the last podcast. That Suda51 was originally a mortician.
Really?
He worked with fucking dead
yeah,
people.
yeah.
I'm not
Shit,
sure.
man.
I'm not sure I want to answer his question because it's kind of freaky.
I say the Neo Geo because the Neo Geo could run Garou Marketer Wolves. I don't know. If
I would
the
say Neo
Pocket
Geo
can.
also, because Neo Geo also because Metal Slug.
What was his second question?
His second question was, which was better, Neo Geo or Wonder Swan?
Neo Geo.
Neo Geo.
Or the PS Vita.
Dude, Neo
I think
Geo
that's
used
his
to
last one.
advertise how many megabytes they have in their cartridges, but all they would do is just make their programs as inefficient as possible so they can take up as much hard drive space. I thought it was pretty cool.
What does Wonder Swan even have beyond, like...
The Wonder Swan has a Mega Man game on it.
Yeah. I think it had a Sonic the Hedgehog game too.
That's Mr.
no, that was the
Driller.
Neo Geo Pocket.
I've forgotten. Oh yeah, video game trivia. I love video game trivia, as you probably can tell.
Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie.
What about it? That's not trivia. You just said the names of 2 games.
No, it's just like in the fucking end of the game.
What about favorite
gotta
trivia
memorize
games,
everything.
You don't know Jack is the best
Yeah,
one.
you don't. Yeah, I agree.
You don't know Jack. If you never played that with some friends, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that game was a lot more fun kind of in like the late 90s just because a lot of the pop culture stuff was more fresh.
I've only played the new one, so. As in favorite video game trivia, I don't know if it's really trivia, I guess it is. In the early 2000s, the president of Sega of America was going on a plane to Japan, and the guy at the guy at the booth checking everyone's passports, he saw that guy and he said, "I don't need to see your passport. You're the asshole that sold Shenmue off to Xbox."
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really vindicated Shenmue fan working at the airport.
The only one on the planet.
Did that guy
to work
lose
at an
his-
airport?
Did that guy lose his job soon after?
No.
I don't know.
I think you should get an award for being the only remaining Shenmue fan out there.
Hey, there's lots of Shenmue fans out there.
Who? Name me one.
There are tons of Shenmue fans.
Austin Jorgensen.
Happy Man.
Yeah, Austin Jorgensen likes Shenmue.
Wait, are you you're a Shenmue fan, Happy Man?
Yes.
Of course, he's a Shenmue fan.
I think Shenmue is fucking hilarious. I don't think it's good, but
Like, I drive a forklift in real life. I don't want to play that game.
you
I
do.
look at
Also,
it, I look at it and I think of all the bad decisions I've made in my life so far. It's so sad.
no, but like if you go to you go to Twitter and you search Shenmue, there's a bunch of Shenmue accounts that just automatically retweet everything said about Shenmue.
Oh, nice.
Like if you make a post about Shenmue, they will automatically like favorite and retweet it.
Pretty great, yeah. It's pretty great.
Even if you say something negative.
Yeah.
My favorite trivia is probably that Yuji Naka based Sonic the Hedgehog's personality off of Bill Clinton. Like, I found that one whilst researching for Max Hyperdrive, and I was like,
It's pretty good.
This is amazing.
I don't think Bill Clinton is like that at all, though.
I know.
No, Sonic comes way faster than Bill Clinton does.
He's way past cool, too, and Bill Clinton's only slightly cool, so... I mean, and he never inhaled. And you know Sonic blazes that shit up 420 YOLO. Can't believe I just said that out loud. Like, let's see, trivia. The NFL top 10, no.
I want to hear about juiced up players.
Top 10 teams or players?
I think I'm the only person in the GLA who actually likes to watch football and knows a lot about it.
I like American football.
Oh.
I don't really follow it, I like to watch the game.
Oh.
I'm more of a basketball fan, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's more internationally popular, I think.
Yeah.
Like, football is just this bizarre, dense, difficult to understand game. It's fun to watch, except for the constant commercial breaks.
Many Europeans also refuse to call it football because soccer is football. But I don't have that, like, loyalty to football. Oh, I don't fucking care. You can be football. We can be soccer. It's fine.
It's okay. Like, football fans are just the worst. They're just the worst people.
I think it's sports fans in general. Like, really big-time sports fans.
Well,
the ones who, like...
Can we do
I've
an
never
outro?
had
Wait,
any problem with, like, tennis fans.
Guys.
Yeah.
Mao,
I've never really interacted
what?
with
There's
tennis
another
fans.
voicemail after this, Mal.
That's what I was going to say, Fishheads. Thanks for doing my job.
Sorry to get sidetracked.
No, it's okay. I would gladly talk about how much I hate football fans for, years, really.
You guys have big problems with hooliganism, don't you?
Oh, yeah. It's fights in this country happen all the time. Football fans will basically just kill each other. And I live in a city that has I don't now, but when I'm at university, I live in a city where there's football games on a lot, and it's just full of, and whenever the football fans are around, there's just like police everywhere, and there's huge throngs of people going in the streets and having fights with one another and getting drunk and just generally just being a nuisance. And there's nothing good about it. There's actually nothing good about it. If you were to erase football from human history, the world would be a better place.
Some soccer teams here in Sweden require police escort when they go into certain other times.
No
so
shit,
in other towns
really?
they have like a rival team. Yeah.
What the fuck?
This probably happens in England too, I would assume.
Guys,
that's crazy.
Video games.
No offense, but I'm just wow. Like in the U.S., like we will have occasional fights. There was a stabbing recently that was in the national news.
Phonogram.
Also, I think when the Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, they had a couple cars lit on fire.
Hey Baron, you want to start a sports podcast with me?
Oh fuck yeah, we'll do that.
Can I come?
This is wrestling and football.
Yes.
I want to learn about the NFL top 10 juiced up players and juiced up coaches.
That is actually from a video. It's from the video called Dilbert by C. Boyardi.
I know of it.
Yes.
I know it quite well, actually. Anyway,
okay.
We have received...
I just wanted to explain because a lot of people ask me that question. It's like, well, where do you keep getting this
from? Let's listen to the other voicemail.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, JF, after sending me his first email, it was... How long was it? It was 1 day later, he sent me another phonogram. He's an enigmatic guy. So here's his second phonogram.
Hello, gentlemen. JF here. What the fuck happened in the last episode? Ignore the previous message I sent you guys. That was just filler work that I figured I could do out of courtesy. Why not? Be fun. No, fuck that. Firstly, Fishheads. Thank you for the offer for the free game, but no thank you. I don't like using Steam, as much as it would be nice to play Hyperdimension Neptunia on the PC, no less. I'd rather not use the Steam version. If I can find a copy elsewhere, crack it, or whatever I gotta do. Anyway. How the fuck can you stand up for Steam? It's such a garbage platform. It's just pure shit. I don't believe I'm an idiot at all for disliking it so much. I think it's done some terrible things to the PC market, and it's irreversibly hurt the quality of the releases. In the past few years, how much have we had that's actually stood out? I admit, PC games have always had a bit of a predisposition to being a bit more buggy. It happens. But at the same time, what the fuck is the excuse for early access? What the fuck is the excuse for fucking customers up the ass so much for things like the bullshit ticket system, the piece of shit bloatware that the fucking platform is itself, and any other DRM bullshit they could easily just circumvent because, face it, they're 90% of the PC market. So, fuck Steam, fuck people who defend it, and honestly, stand up for yourselves as customers. The fucking developer-first attitude they always have there is just detrimental to the service, and you could tell they don't give a shit about you guys. They just want your fucking money. Yours truly, JF.
Dude, this guy, in the last voicemail, he talked super slow, and in this one, he talked extremely fast. Like,
he's very passionate about this.
Yeah, he's so passionate, he slurred his words together in some instances.
Dude. So anyway, yeah, football.
Yeah.
I think
Steam,
that
cheap.
Like you really need to take a balanced view on issues like this, and it's important to appreciate the good that Steam has done as well as the bad that Steam has done.
Just
because
like football.
It is a mixed bag, honest to God. Like, I do think that it is much easier to kind of develop games and get your games out there thanks to Steam. I do think that it has helped build a PC gaming community in a way that others have failed at. I do think it is a less intrusive DRM system than pretty much every other DRM system out there, which is nice, but at the end of the day, it's still DRM. I do think that Steam need to improve desperately things like their customer service and their refunds policy, especially. I do think that early access and greenlight are bullshit to an extent, but on the other hand, you could argue that all Valve are doing is reacting to what people want. And it's really not their fault if people want bullshit, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is providing what people want.
Also, don't forget that Good Old Games also has cheap games, just saying.
So
you
also use Desura, GOG, and Humble.
Yeah, GOG and... Well, Humble... No, fuck Humble, honestly. They've completely... Like, they don't do Linux nearly as much as they used to, and they sell a lot of games with DRM these days. I think GOG and like Desura has just been completely abandoned, basically. Like, there's no one really updating it or doing anything to it these days.
I think they've been acquired by another company again.
Yeah. Origin is also pretty awful.
I think GOG are the only people, in my opinion, who are doing things even vaguely right.
And if the game is available on both platforms, I generally will throw money at GOG just, for the sake of throw it at the competition.
Also, GOG offers games cheaper too, I think.
Yeah,
They
and
do the
GOG
classic
doesn't have
games.
the regional. Well, they almost had the regional pricing bullshit, and they still kind of have it, but they give you back more than you would have paid extra for in credit. So that's kind of okay, I guess.
What worries me the most about Steam, right, is the amount of control Valve has over both the market and the content you have, because they don't abuse it now, but they very easily could. And I think they have enough goodwill built up that they would get away with it.
It's one of those things where you've got to be very careful about them building up a monopoly, and they could definitely abuse it in the future. And I think if Valve, there's a lot of games out there that only have Steam releases, and that kind of pisses me off that developers haven't even bothered to look into like other ways of releasing their game. They're just like, Steam, yep, we're done. It sucks.
I check out GOG pretty regularly to see if there's anything I want, but I'm not that big of a strategy game fan, and it's almost all strategy games, so I wish I was more into them than I was.
Well,
so I could actually buy from them.
There was one game on GOG that I liked that is kind of a strategy game. It's called Combat Mission. I always liked their series. I was kind of surprised to see it on there. So that's why I like GOG. I mean,
I don't know. I wish we had Freaky in here for that last one, because the minute Freaky hears someone criticize Steam, and he just goes off about how you're some fucking hipster who only likes Desura.
Well, yeah, literally, sometimes his arguments are him just shitting all over everything ever.
His arguments
Only
are just
sometimes.
shit just coming out of his mouth, just in torrents.
Sometimes he makes good points, but the problem is that he's so salty about it that he ends up insulting the person and completely ruining his argument at the same time.
Anyway, I would encourage you to go read my distribution hoedown article on Steam on Gather Your Party, because it explains things much better than I
thought
could
you were
now.
going to say read my distribution hoedown article on Freaky.
On Freaky.
I'm honestly, and I'm looking through GOG's like kind of current catalog. I mean, so The Witcher 3, I'm obviously gonna get through them. Hotline Miami 2, Shelter 2, which I still need to write a review on. It was kind of but they're branching out a bit more than just like strategy games and like old like vaporware.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I have to leave, so I'm gonna drop out early. Bye. Sorry, everyone.
We're almost done anyway, so whatever.
All right.
About to talk about Geralt's beard.
Oh, I like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, then what's happened to your voice?
The what?
Whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's wrap this up, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what's the book club game? Did we decide?
Hexen.
It is Hexen.
Hexen.
Okay.
No, well, Hexen's the second one. Heretic's the first one. Just
right,
Hexen.
I'm stupid. Yes, Hexen.
Outro.
Heretics.
Oh yeah.
This has been Gentlemen Discussing Video, the only podcast made from 99% pure sausages. Thanks to all of you for being here. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next month with more podcast. Yay, isn't that nice? In the meantime, you can go to Gentlemen's Lunchtime Association website or gatheryourparty.com for you know the drill by now. I don't have to explain it to you. Fuck you. Get out of here.
So get us questions for the survey.
Yes,
yes,
of course.
Please
Email. Don't post them in the comments, because then people have a chance to think of answers and they might cheat. Instead, just email them to comeatmebro.co.uk. Thank you.
See you at the party, Rick.
Rock me, baby.
baby,
That's right.
baby, 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 baby.
I am like, I know it's Western shit. I wish there was more things along like lines of like Mech Warrior instead of giant robots with swords who are moving around way too fast.
Battletech.
Are you shitting on Gundam, bro?
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
I was never really a fan.
Shitting on Gundam, motherfucker?
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. Like, if a Gundam went up against like an Atlas class robot, it would get its ass blown to pieces.
No, it wouldn't. No.
Yes, it would.
No, we can't do this. No.
Yes, we can.
No.
Yes, we can.
Absolutely,
Different universes. Fuck you.
Triggered.
Oh,
no. The only way
what can a Gundam do? Oh, it can fly and wave a sword.
I don't get why
Guess what an
people
Atlas
say
has?
they...
It has real.
Oh!
Why do people say, "Oh, I don't like mechas because they're unrealistic"? It's like, yeah, most of fiction is unrealistic.
No, I mean, no, and it's not even like unrealistic.
Dude,
it just looks weird to me.
Gundam,
like
as mecha, Gundam is one of the more practical of mechas. I would not say it is, but compared to super robot stuff, real robot stuff's fine. Like, is more practical.
What I'm surprised is why in Gundam they didn't just have some guy just tape the biggest gun possible on the hulk of a tank and then shoot the Gundam with it.
Hey, can I talk? The reason they
Dude, I started talking and you started interrupting me.
Mao,
Okay, they kind of...
Mao.
That's how Mal rolls.
So, the problem I had with a lot of these mechas in Gundam... Let me explain.
You're doing it again, Mal.
Let me explain. I think it's probably aesthetics that I don't like in Gundam. I don't like how the robots look and how they work. They are giant toys, pretty much. That's what they resemble to me.
Awesome.
Okay. In Battletech or Mech Warrior, they look imposing, they look threatening, they look actual war machines,
But I think like, to an extent, you can't really give a war machine like a look that gives it like personality, that makes it like interesting to look at. To people who don't care about war, which is a lot of people.
That's true. But I mean, aesthetically speaking, I think a Cataphract or an Atlas class robot looks way cooler than a Gundam that has a bunch of flanges and shit on it. That's just me.
I think
I thought the Timberwolf from MechWarrior was a pretty iconic look.
Yeah, it was actually.
To me, Gundam has like, I guess, more character than a MechWarrior.
I mean, I think the other appeal is like I really like the original Alien and that very like sort of like bootstrapped like high tech stuff.
Oh yeah, but then I don't see how that filters down because a lot of stuff on both sides, I think, like Gundams and like Western mech stuff, is just over designed to the point of looking ridiculous.
Here's a catapult mech. That's probably one of the more iconic mech warrior looks. Oh yeah, the Timberwolf. The Timberwolf and the catapult are two very similar designs. Isn't the Timberwolf a catapult that has guns? Yeah, it does.
In the Timberwolf Mad Cat, it's called a Mad Cat because it's when the Clanners came in the Inner Sphere, and the Inner Sphere have machines that will target enemy mech warrior and say which type of mech it is. But since the Clanners were new,
are you reading the Wikipedia article?
No. I've just memorized this. And when they looked at the Timberwolf,
you are.
They couldn't decide. Yeah. No, I'm honestly not. I mean, I've looked at it before. No.
Yeah, boy.
When they looked at Timberwolf, it would alternate between Marauder and Catapult. So it just became Mad Cat, Mad Cat.
To read the Wikipedia article.
I am not. Also, Gundam does have kind of an explanation of why Gundams, or not
look
Gundams,
so
mobile
stupid.
suits. No, they look cool. Fuck you. Why mobile suits are used. The reason why, it actually kind of makes sense.
Space.
Okay. The AMBAC system. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, God. Please continue.
Why do you hate Gundam so?
Because it's useless in space as well. What's it going to do? Wave its arms around frantically doing nothing?
Do you know how an astronaut moves in space?
Yeah, it's cool though, so who cares?
Yeah, he's tethered to the ship usually because his arms and legs are kind of useless.
No. But but you use your your arms and legs are not useless. You can use them to move yourself around. You just have to have an understanding of how momentum and shit works in space. And with a suit that's like, because most suits were originally intended to be used for colony construction purposes in space, having something that's like a bipedal form with arms makes it easier to like move about, kind of like an astronaut in space, with because you can control weight and they can control their mass with the AMBAC system inside of a mobile suit. Also, there's back in the story.
When mechas, holy fuck, you've been talking about
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to talk about something else.
Not specifically you, Mo, just you guys.
Okay. Well, we're not doing the podcast anymore. I just want to justify my position, Baron, because it's broken.